What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the Washed Up podcast. Here are my guests, Adam. Again.
Guest? Wow! Is that what you think of me? I invite you into my home. We set all this up, and I'm a guest.
Yep.
My guests. My co-host.
My co-host.
You know, I had the big thing in my head. I'm like, is co-host the right word? Because it still sounds like...
It sounds like we're second best.
Yeah.
Because that makes you the main host.
But
So
I wanted you guys to
technically-
hit me with the Brenny intro
Our-
to introduce yourselves.
Our equal level hosts.
Yeah, our equal level co-host.
The Brenny intro, the Brenny
Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah, I
intro.
wanna
I
hear
only
this.
know the first 2 words. I never listened past that. I clicked off your video.
Yeah, all we hear is,
It's,
hey
guys, Brenny here.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Hey guys,
Are we
Brenny
introducing
here.
ourselves all like that
Yeah.
tonight? Because like, hey guys,
Yeah,
Zach
that's
Hawley
what-
here.
that's what I
and
wanted.
with my hosts right here.
My guests.
with my guests right here. If you want to introduce yourself in the Brainy style.
I just did before, but
Did you?
hey guys, Adam here.
Nice.
And yes, welcome back to episode 2 of the Washed Up podcast.
Woo!
Ooh. How many more? 7?
No,
5?
we have to do,
We have to get
do
to 7.
5 more at least so we can make Sarah extremely unhappy.
Is it get to 7 or get past?
We have to
7?
get past 7
Okay.
because
Gotta be above average.
once again, my girlfriend, what she did, she set out a challenge for us, and she said every
I heard it
ordinary podcast stops at 7 episodes.
Yeah,
because
she
I don't know
had-
anything else to
She
talk
told
about.
us all this at once, all 3 of us.
Yeah.
Rude.
So
With
negative.
great guests like you guys.
Yeah.
Like, of course, my podcast is
He's
gonna...
so negative, bro. So negative.
So
Wow.
Adam's prepared 7,000 topics
Oh,
for today's
oh,
episode. And like, you got me nervous when you said you needed your phone
We,
for
we
one.
have a strict no Google policy on this podcast, but this is not Googling. This is just it's an
Holy.
article that I came past.
If you guys could see
and
these
it has
notes
some good
right
stuff
now,
on it.
it's a bit ridiculous, and I'm super scared right
So
now.
this is something that I'm always super interested in, and I love getting the reactions of everyone. So obviously we're all automotive
oh, no,
people.
I see police.
We're all automotive people, yeah?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So these are 10 laws in Australia that are just fucking ridiculous.
This is
Oh,
brilliant.
easy.
I like
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Easy.
but
I
it's
like
so
this.
so good because there was some new ones in there.
Okay.
So throwing your apple core out of the window.
That's
Ooh.
perfectly fine because a bird can eat it.
Yeah, I would think it's like compost. As long as
Yeah.
it goes not on the road and goes into the side of the road.
Extra
I
points
just
if
throw
you
I
hit
just throw it at
someone.
pedestrians.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. If you hit a cyclist, like way better. Yeah.
I know
And
we
we're
weren't going to
cancelled.
get into topics, but don't get me started on cyclists.
So guess how much it is in Queensland? You should know this. mate.
I'm guessing like $165 because it actually littering because it'd be a little bit
It
more
comes under
expensive.
littering. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like
Even
almost
if it's a-
$250.
Even if it's a compostable product, that you could just
120.
be
I'm going to say 120, Eddie.
minimum $287 for general littering.
That's ridiculous.
Less to speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may
it
as
is.
well endanger the lives of other humans rather than chuck your apple
Oh,
core
and
out.
2 demerit points.
2
Demerit
demerit
points. All right.
But I think that in here there's also dangerous littering. I'm not sure if demerit points comes under that.
It
But
was
that's
dangerous littering.
I don't
like
know.
Throwing a
Maybe-
grenade out
I
the window.
don't know.
Throwing an apple
That's
core into
minimum.
someone
No, that's
else's
at a
oncoming
cyclist,
car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's $575.
Yeah.
But if you're doing dangerous littering, I feel like you probably deserve
Can we?
it.
Yeah.
I know we can't Google it. Can we just think about a definition of dangerous littering?
Yeah, what's different?
What's
Like,
different from regular littering?
I think it's when you really peg it at the cyclist instead of doing it. You know.
Let's
Catch.
say
It's
you're
not
the
that.
cyclist is on the hill though, and the cyclist falls off the hill and then ends up like we were talking about Alec Baldwin today,
Yeah,
who's just
yeah.
been I was about to say diagnosed, but he wasn't diagnosed.
You are.
he was
Yeah.
just sent to jail for
well, I
this
don't know if he's been sent to jail yet, but he's
Yeah.
been,
convicted.
yeah, I guess that's
Not
the right word,
diagnosed.
of involuntary manslaughter,
Yeah.
which is a real weird
Another
sentence to
thing
me.
we
Yeah.
cannot Google.
Yeah,
No, definitely not.
it's definitely not our
Wheelhouse.
expertise.
No, no.
But I saw the words involuntary
Thinking about an
manslaughter.
apple core being
Sounds
thrown at a
really
cyclist and the cyclist involuntarily dies. Then
Weird. You throw an apple
That's
core.
still you doing
No, you
something.
throw an apple
Yeah.
core. 30 minutes later, a cyclist comes past, hits the apple core, falls off a cliff.
Oh,
That's
that
still,
would be
no. I see involuntary should be you threw your apple core out the window at another driver, then that driver hits a cyclist.
Yeah, that would actually
Oh,
be it.
That's
Yeah, but then in Alec Baldwin's case, the driver of the other car would be the one that got in trouble.
Yeah.
The one
Yes,
that actually
yeah,
hits the
yeah,
cyclist,
yeah.
which is
Literally.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Anyway, we'll move on because
Question number two.
we don't have the level to
Yeah,
speak about that
no.
topic.
Give me a gavel, mate. I'm good to go.
Another one, which I'm sure you all know, but is just one of the most ridiculous laws, especially in Australia, is beep or waving goodbye to your mate.
I heard about this.
That's also
Yeah.
illegal.
Yeah,
correct,
It's
yeah.
illegal.
What about beeping?
It comes with a
Because
large
people
fine
are
too.
annoying you.
It may be second nature to beep a cheery goodbye, but in New South Wales, drivers could be fined $349 if they toot the horn to accompany their farewell because it counts as an unnecessary use of a horn.
Can I ask what the necessary use of a horn would be?
Warning.
Yeah, if someone
a
cuts you
warning.
off or someone's reversing into you or something like that. Basically, your horn should never be used, which is
That's-
so dumb.
I had someone right after the story of my beautiful partner crashing my car. I fixed it all up. She's a bit rough looking. I'm at a servo. I see some filling up. I'm sitting there and I see some guy reversing back. I'm like, he knows I'm there. Filling up. He's still going back. And I'm like, he doesn't know. I'm like, and then into my car.
Yeah, see, if the horn was there and it was being used, surely.
Dude, when I was away over the holidays, I was in Whalers Way, which is in South Australia.
That's a made up place.
Nothing. There's nothing really there at all. I was with my mate Darvis. We were parked at a lookout thing. There was one other car there, and the dude came like millimeters away from reversing straight back. There was no one else there.
Yeah.
There's so much room,
Yeah.
and he still managed to nearly hit the two cars that were in the
What
entire
car
area.
is in your cute little Prado?
No, it was Darvis's car, a Ranger. A territory
You have
nearly
a
backed
big
into
bull
it.
bar or something?
Not a
You'll be
big one.
fine.
Not a big one.
Fair enough.
I just read this about the beep and waving goodbye, and I didn't know this was a thing. But add in a wave. If you toot and wave,
It's
What?
fine.
it's a double breach. As part of the body is outside of the vehicle,
What?
an additional fine of $349.
I always wanted to know if that's
What?
actually. I'm a sucker for no AC driving with my hand out.
I
the
agree.
Yeah,
window.
I drive
Yeah.
with like my hand just hanging out the window, sort
Is
of
it
thing.
actually
that's
illegal?
illegal.
I've
Yeah.
never seen anyone.
100%
done for it.
illegal. Yeah, correct. I've never seen anyone done for it, but it is illegal. 100%.
What have you been done for, Zachary?
My 2 fines are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like ridiculous. My first fine that I ever got was I got let off. I probably shouldn't say that on a podcast because it's so massive. So massive. This
Allegedly.
podcast is huge. Allegedly, I was traveling 120 in a 60 zone and I got pulled over by the police. But I wasn't going that speed because I didn't have
Allegedly.
a radar.
A lot of cock for cash, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. The second one was I've never been pulled over before in my life, and I got pulled over in the Skyline. It was weird. I've been followed by police all the time, and I've been in front of police, and I've been been behind police, and I've been everywhere around police, and no one's ever pulled me over. And one day I was cruising home from work, and this police officer acted like I'd stolen my 33. Like it was ridiculous. She tracked me down. Sorry, my throat's a little bit weird.
Have some water, mate.
Have some water, man.
Here's some Adam prepared earlier.
Yeah, I learned from last time.
She, basically, she followed me, and it was sort of like a left-hand turn. She put her lights on the opposite side of the road through a set of red lights. Lights on, cut off 6 lanes of traffic to then come right up behind me as quick as she could, pulled me over, and then she came straight to my window and said, "Your car's got no horn button." Straight up. I'm
Huh?
like, what? Yeah, I know. This is
Horn
not a
button.
word of
And
a
she
lie.
was bang on. But
She was bang on. My car,
She was
my car
spotted
had
you
no
8 lanes over.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a horn.
I know, it's
What's a horn
ridiculous.
button? You mean like
So I have an aftermarket steering wheel.
Yeah, so the button
so
in the
just
middle.
the button
was a hole.
a hole with
Yeah.
a thing straight into the spine
Yeah.
of my steering column, whatever it
Yeah.
was. No, she came up. She got me for no horn button, and then she also did me for too low. But I got 1 point and $119 fine for the horn, and $119 fine for the too low. That was it. Didn't have to take it back and go get it checked or anything. The second one I got done for was 47 in a 40 zone, which is ridiculous.
I've
It was
I've
school
only
zone.
ever got though like I get a lot of defects in my time, and they're all
Yeah.
they're all valid and fair. But the thing that shocks me is like what you said, and the same with like times I've been pulled over, is the highly illegal and like. People don't know how to be react when there's an ambulance or a cop car or
exactly
something.
right.
Like
yeah.
I saw one the other day. lights went on, and I was like, I'm gonna start slowing down. Everyone else still going like 80. I'm like, what do you? It's right there. It might want to turn. And yeah, people like I feel like the risk that cop had to give you like a $200 fine is
far
not worth.
outweighed the fact that I couldn't honk, which is illegal anyway to do
Yeah,
so.
you pretty much can't
you
honk.
couldn't
pretty much
anyway.
can't.
You're
honk.
pretty much not allowed to.
Exactly right. So yeah, I think it was a little bit ridiculous to get me for no
Could
horn
you
button,
just
but
get away with the honking at your mate to say, I was just warning him there was something on the road or something?
potentially.
Yeah, well, that's why no one ever gets.
I
done.
was
Same with the
honking
hand.
and I was
Yeah.
pointing what was going on.
I
was pointing.
My hand was not out the window. I was throwing an apple core at a cyclist.
Oh, it's okay, mate. Have a good
Oh,
day.
yeah, that's all
no
right.
worries at all.
What about
it
you,
was-
Adam? Biggest
I've
fine?
had 2 stupid fines.
Here we go. Here
All right,
we go.
so one, which is probably by the law, this one, I guess. So it was
I guess
on the what tunnel is it? Is it the M1? The one that goes onto the Monash? That's the Monash, the city.
You're asking the wrong person.
I don't know.
Yeah, the city tunnel.
There's a tunnel that goes through the city.
Montague
Yeah.
Bridge.
So we're doing a shoot for work. It's like 2:30 in the morning.
I know this one.
There's roadworks in the tunnel. 40 k's an hour, which should be, it's normally 100 through there, or is it 80?
No, 80.
Normally 80 through there.
Mm-hmm.
Literally no one working, no one on the road. I got done for 47 k's over.
Your joke, Kate.
Well,
47.
Yeah, 'cause they do
sorry, just
7
47
k's.
k's.
47 k's over.
No,
you were
no,
still
seven-
going 90.
seven-
They still
seven-
got you. That's
7
ridiculous.
k's over at 2:30 in the morning, no one on the road, roadworks with no one working on a highway. By the
yeah,
law,
ridiculous.
yes, speeding 7 k's, but why is it 40?
That tunnel's always like so bad because they'll do the whole tunnel and then they're only
Yeah.
working right at the end.
Literally.
And
Yeah.
I get
Like
that
what we were doing the other day.
Yeah.
Like we were going 40 for like a good how many
we had
kilometers?
good traffic flow, so
We
it was
did,
alright.
yes,
It apparently
correct.
was really bad.
My
before
car was
that.
still getting super duper hot, but
Yeah.
in saying that, we were still flowing with traffic. But for like a good 5 k's into this tunnel,
Yeah.
it was all 40, and then there was 3 workers, and then it was all good to go.
Do you know
Yeah.
how gross that tunnel is?
Oh, it's
They
disgusting.
they recommend you put the windows up because you could be breathing in too many fumes.
I
Yeah.
don't have an AC. My car get real
Yeah.
muggy. So I
Yeah.
just sit there like.
It is disgusting. They were in there cleaning the walls because it was all black from all the fumes.
Yeah, it's funny because
All
he
the
goes so
diesel
fast
soot.
normally. Yes, yeah, that's gross.
Deal with it.
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 Have you actually seen those walls in those tunnels though? When you go fast, you don't notice it, but when you go 40 k's an hour,
Trust me, they seem to be doing roadworks
Gross.
in there every time we do a
Yeah.
shoot at work.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, there is roadworks in that tunnel.
yeah, it's so screwed up.
And
Ridiculous.
they're literally just there painting the walls. I'd hate to imagine how
And
much
then
they're
they
getting
start
paid.
again from the end.
They're
probably
probably getting like danger pay or something.
Yeah.
Dude,
from all
there,
the
there's
calls
like
I'm gonna
there's like
throw at them.
3 people painting a wall. There's
Yeah.
about 7 trucks,
Mm.
like safety trucks, blocking the lane. Then there's a person sitting there with a toilet, and then
the portable
and then
toilet
there's
guy.
and then there's the person that drove the bus in to drop
all
the
the
2
people.
to drop the 3 people off
Yeah.
who are working who could have just come in the trucks because there's
Yeah.
like 7 fucking trucks.
You know what? And I've brought this up with you, but not Zach. When we got those heavy rains for a while, and like you get all these construction sites like that. Meanwhile, the people filling in the potholes chucked on a flashing light and started shoveling on the side. I'd be like, "Oh crap!" Like trying to dodge people, just stopping in the middle of the road, nothing but high vis and a flashy light. And
when
they're-
they actually
they're
have to do work.
yeah, they were hustling. Like, look, I'm not gonna say they filled those holes good. It was legit like filled with gravel.
Oh
If-
yeah.
And how dangerously they did it, I almost wish they had maybe a car with an arrow on it in between the gap. But real big difference.
Big difference because
Second
I would
one.
hate to know how much they're getting paid in that tunnel. I almost wish I had that job.
Yeah.
But
I do not.
But you would be
I said
having a very
almost.
short lifespan with
I said
how dirty it
almost.
is, though.
yeah,
almost.
but living
Yeah.
it up for that short lifespan.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, do we want to move on to the next one?
I
Let's
want to
do
hear
it.
your second fine.
Oh yeah,
I wanna
sorry,
hear
the
your
second
fun
fine.
ones.
The second fine. So this wasn't even by like Vic Roads or anything. It was by Mount Hotham.
Oh.
So I was
What?
driving up Mount Hotham.
Yeah.
We were looking to go four-wheel driving. So Mount Hotham is like, it sort of links to the high country. You go up the Alpine Road and then you like go over the other side and it's like a dirt road. So we went up there.
You're gonna have to take me to this high. You say high country, and it's because I don't fully know what to picture. I just picture like Narnia or something. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Something up above the
I went
clouds.
to high country, and it's like a clear landscape, big mountain.
Either that or Byron Bay or something.
Yeah.
Just imagine like Mount Hotham, but with, I mean, Mount Hotham is the high country.
You're just
It's
gonna have
part
to
of
take
it.
me.
It's
Yeah,
part
I
of it.
agree.
You're gonna have to be like, we are in high country, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the high country, like you say high country, but high country is like massive. It's basically mountains.
I don't know.
But it's
Does-
just
does
called.
the scenery
It's just called the
suddenly change?
Victorian high
Everything
country.
gets all nice
Is it
and
because
pretty
you're
all of
up
a
high?
sudden.
Literally, it's the high part of Victoria, the high country.
So, but
It's
not
in
a
the
mountain.
east. Yeah, it's mountains.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're pretty high.
What happens when you go into
Wait,
the
wait, wait.
valleys? Is that low
So
country?
is Emerald counted as
No.
like high? But you're in mountains.
No, I don't know if people classify that as.
What happens if you're in high
really
country and
high
go into the
country.
valleys?
Then you're just
Is that
low in
low
the high
country?
country.
Low in the high
Low-
country.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Under the
Anyway.
low country.
Anyway, so I was with my other mate and we were going to go four-wheel driving. It was just at the point where there's lots of gates that they close at certain times of the year, but sometimes they just close them early because they have to go around and close like a million gates. So they just start early. So we pulled off the road and he's like on the radio, "Oh, this one's closed. We have to head back down because it was our only way across." So we gave up on it. So I stopped on the road, let him out, and then turned around. There's literally no one, by the way.
Wait, you're letting your mate out?
Back out onto the road. He
Okay,
had to reverse back out
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
road.
yeah.
But there's like, it's off season during the week. There's literally no one there.
Yeah.
Like a month later, I got a fine in the mail from Mount Hotham for stopping on the road.
How?
I
They
don't
have
know.
like a camera there or something.
I don't know. They must. They
That's
must. It's like a
ridiculous.
very common spot to go off because like it's the main road that you would use to get over to like Dargo, and it's closed.
But you didn't even have like another option, really, did you?
Well, I could have gone off the road with him, but I was like, "There's literally no one here. I'll just let him reverse back out, and I'll just turn around."
Yeah.
And I got a $190 fine from Mount Hotham.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
I didn't even know that they could do
Do
that.
that. Yeah.
Like it specifically says no stopping on the road because
Yeah.
you get people like stop and take photos with
Yeah.
the views. So you're not supposed to
But
stop on the road.
that's
You weren't-
clearly stated for like there's no logic with like speed limits at nighttime should probably bump up a little because there's no
There's
traffic.
no one on the road.
Yeah, you know, like I'm not saying 200, but you know, 110, 120.
It would be nice.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that fine kind of blew my mind.
I got another really bad fine, really annoying fine that I got one time. I was on a beach back up in Queensland.
Naked.
And yeah, no. Well, no, I went up to this beach and I'd never been on a four-wheel drive beach before because I thought it was pretty cool. So anyway, we drove 2 hours north from where I was living in Brisbane, and I decided to take my little dog, Doug. Sorry, that was really weird to say. My little dog, Doug. And I wasn't in my own car because I don't have a four-wheel drive. So I went with a mate of mine and we went 2 hours north to go to this beach. And it was like a dog beach, no worries at all. You can take your four-wheel drives on it. Okay, sweet, no worries at all. So we ended up driving onto the beach. We went up the beach a little bit, like maybe 50, 100 meters or something like that. And stopped, let the dog out. Then all of a sudden the police come past. No worries at all. Then they stop, they do a U-turn, come back up and see us, and they see my little dog right there. Anyway.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, so the cops come up and they say, "Why is your dog in National Park?" And I said, I actually didn't know this was a national park. I thought this was the dog beach because a little bit further up the beach, they had the sign which literally said you can't have pets beyond this point. That's the start of the national park. And they said, no, pretty much where you come onto the beach, where your four-wheel drive enters the beach is the national park. And I said, oh, okay, well, whereabouts does the national park end? And she said, the dog beach is 50 meters that way.
Wow.
And I was like-
did they actually fine you for that?
They got me for $162 for having
A little sausage dog.
my little sausage dog, which, by the way, is terribly, what would you say? It's got like separation anxiety. So it wouldn't go anywhere like 2 meters away from me
So you
whatsoever.
were 50 meters away
Yeah.
from it and you didn't know where you were and
Yeah,
they still
and
followed
so
you.
then I asked, okay, my little sausage dog right now, okay, they obviously don't let them on national parks for a reason that they don't want to disturb the wildlife or do anything along
Yeah,
those
like
lines.
that's why, but it's like
Yeah.
it's also like hunting dogs and stuff.
Yeah,
So
correct.
normally if they see you and you just got like this not a hunting
Little
dog,
tiny sausage
and
dog
you clearly
that's
don't know where you
scared for
are.
its life because I've walked 2 meters away from it, right? This little tiny thing is not going to do much harm. It's going to maybe dig some sand. It's going to drink out of our drinks or something like that, or maybe let off a bark or two. But no, the reason that I could not have this dog on the beach was because it would disturb the wildlife and it could destroy a natural treasure or whatever it is that's on that beach. And I was looking at all of these massive full drives going down the beach and everything else, and everyone parked up on the sand digging ruts and everything. But no, my little sausage dog right there was a huge environmental issue.
It's more than 50 meters away from the other.
Yeah.
How do you deal? Like, I feel because
I got really pissed.
I've done some stupid things, and just I'm really good at speaking to cops apparently. Because I if a cop did that to me, I get to this point where I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I can't comprehend the dumbness
well,
of that.
That's what I was thinking when I was there. I couldn't comprehend how dumb this was. And I said, okay, well, no worries. Can we just move down the beach? And she said, no, unfortunately, I will have to give you a ticket. They took a photo of Doug. I had to hold him. He was all nice and smiley. He was all happy. No worries at all. Just like, I don't know how you hold like that sausage dog thing. So I got a photo with the dog. No worries at all. And then she said, all right, you're going to have to move down the beach. So we said, no worries at all. So, of course, trying to save the environment, we dug up all the ruts in the beach and got back out of the natural treasure that was there.
Yep.
Went down to the dog beach, no worries at all. I got my fine, no worries. Went back home to go pay it, and the number didn't work for the pay thing. So I said, oh, they must have been really nice, and she must have put the fine through, and okay, I won't worry about it. I'll scare him a little bit,
bitch.
get him off the beach and stuff like that. But no. 3 months later, I got a note from a letter from Spur saying that I had to pay $380 to have my dog on the beach. And so I called them up and I said, hey, look, I really tried to pay this fine. It didn't work. They wouldn't allow it. I had to pay almost $400.
I don't think he can speak to it, because I've walked my way out of so many things.
Yeah, ridiculous. I just let them do whatever
I reckon
they were doing,
you just talk like you're lying. When you talk, you sound like you're lying.
No, I agree.
But that's just how you talk.
Yeah.
Like, you are literally the person that hood maybe couldn't actually open. And they're like, I don't know, officer, the hood doesn't open in big turbo. And
I just try and tell
It
them.
normally opens, I swear.
Doing a lot of this.
But it's like,
What are you talking about? It doesn't open.
I actually, I got pulled over with Maggie the other day for her first ever being pulled over by highway, 3 lanes across, picked us out of 5 cars. I'm like, we had just lowered the car, I believe, and exhaust, it's not a crazy car, but it's enough to pick something out on. Anyway, it's leaks oil a little bit onto the exhaust manifold.
You were telling me
the
this story.
cop pops the hood, is shining the light in there. We've painted random things, typical, like, as we're pulling it apart, we paint things. It's got downpipe and stuff. And cop pops in. Yep, looks pretty standard. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in the car. The light is shining on the smoke, and it's just like... And I'm like, are you for real? Like, Maggie just... Yep, looks good. See you later. And I'm like, really?
You're
The other day, I got pulled over just driving out onto the road in my very not low Sylvia... And got done for height.
To be fair, we always make fun of Brenny for having monster truck fitment. It's literally
you haven't
like
seen mine.
it's like 15 centimeters between the tire and the car.
Yeah, and you got done
I
for
get
too
done
low.
for height.
You got done for height.
Joking.
I just let them do it because I had put the weldy in. I was ready to do a Motorcana the next day, and it just crushed all my hopes and dreams. So I went home and sulked, cleared my defect, put the car on club rego. She's a weekend vehicle now, if that, because it was very demotivating. Like, you put so much love into something, and all you want to do is go for a cruise with your mate.
Especially you. I couldn't believe it when he sent the message saying it had been defected. I was like, you are kidding me. That's the car that we make fun of for being so high.
I have had, in the first month of dating Maggie, we went on a lot of cruises to places. I had 3 defects at one point. I got 2 in one night and had 1 the previous week.
Clearly, he's not very good at talking to cops. No,
definitely not.
I'm pretty good at talking to cops. I got 3 defects in one night.
I walked away from so many cops. It's ridiculous.
You must be dodgy.
I got 1 defect, and the cop's like, yep, but I'm going to have to get you for not having a air filter cover. And I'm like, yeah, the other cop did that as well. Like, giving him basically, find something new,
Yeah.
I was just over it at that point. I was rolling with the punches.
Yeah, when you start actually pointing stuff out at the cops, it's like, oh, this headlight also doesn't work. Get me for that too.
Well, that's what I, in my head, I'm like getting me for these things that, I have a little cover for the pod filter, but it goes... and it annoys me, so I take it off.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Wait,
whatever.
why do you need a
easy
cover
fix.
for a filter?
I don't know.
So I actually looked this up because I had an issue with the RX-7 as well.
I don't know if I can trust your legal advice.
Yeah.
So weirdly enough, so you know when you cover pod filters with oil and stuff like that, your pod filter is actually then becoming a flammable thing in the engine bay.
Right.
So
So
they
this
wanted
So
little-
to.
Maggie's car leaking oil and pluming smoke.
No, that's completely fine.
The
Don't stress about that
RX-7 just
whatsoever.
overheating.
The
like,
RX-7
blowing
constantly
up.
overheating, not an issue as well. But the pod filter as well needs to be separated from the engine compartment.
Engine bay, yeah.
Because if the engine were to catch fire, that would be another thing that would catch fire.
Not the fuel,
Dude,
rubber
if
fuel
if
line.
the
No,
engine's on
no, no.
fire, you have more problems than a pod filter.
Yeah, but that's the issue. Is I know it sounds dumb, but
Yeah.
it is. It is
I'm
a
gonna add
thing.
that to this list of dumb
Of
Australian
dumb
laws.
things, yeah.
Fair
You need a
enough, yeah.
cover on your
Well,
pod
they
filter.
can like fine you now for like I got a small fine with my last defect, I believe it was, and then like had to supply a roadworthy, whereas back in the day you didn't have to do that, which is why my car's on Club Reg, because it's just I don't know, they're hunting for things.
I haven't been defected.
Well, la dee da, there's
Yeah.
plenty of time for that, mate.
No, the Prado's legal.
That's good.
Prado's fully legal. Everything about that car is legal.
I don't believe
Does it have a horn button?
I was
Yes, it does.
actually
It
while
sucks.
you
You
while
can
you
barely even hear
find number 3 things that people get done for,
Let's go
I
for
thought I had an epiphany on the way here with Zach. Left indicator, right indicator, hazards through the middle.
Definitely not, because then you're confusing people.
Yeah,
on the
no,
left
because
and right.
you only see one side of the car.
All of a sudden you're on your roof. You got no clue where to
Yeah,
go.
not your best idea.
Yeah.
No indicator.
All right, number 3, we're only in third on the list. This one surprised me.
Yep.
Using your phone to pay at a drive-through
Oh yeah, that's illegal.
is illegal.
Oh yeah, because I always
Yeah.
To pay at a drive-through, you know,
Yeah.
they like at Macca's, they encourage you to pay with your
it's
phone.
like-
Yeah. So you have to legally, you would have to put the car in park, put the handbrake up, turn the car off, pay contactless.
Yeah.
And
This
then
says-
you can start a log
Yeah, it
again.
says stay within the rules. Drivers should switch their engine off,
Yeah.
put the handbrake on before using the phone to pay for a cheeky Happy Meal.
I've always thought it should be like a bit like it's hard because if you give like a scale,
Yeah, because then
You gotta pick
people
the
are
end
like,
of the
well, why
scale.
can't I go on
Yeah.
my phone at the traffic lights? Because I'm just sitting here. It's the same as in the drive-through.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have
Like,
we actually
see,
heard of cops actually sitting at
But
drive-thrus,
surely
though?
you could like specify it and go at a drive-through. You are allowed
Yeah.
to pay by your phone.
Yeah.
And I see it as the other way. If someone's gonna use their phone while driving, I'd rather them be at a light. At the most, I can illegally beep them because apparently
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
illegal.
Yeah.
And then we get going. I do not want someone checking their Facebook on 100 road because they think it's that urgent.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
rather
not
them be
ideal.
like, oh, well, I can check this at the lights, you know?
Yeah. But
And even if it's a
legally,
smaller fine.
Now-
if you're at a drive-through, the fine for this is huge, isn't it?
It's fucking massive.
It's massive.
so
Isn't it like-
$780.
It's like 6 points or something like that, isn't it?
so take
Yeah.
away the fact that technically it falls under the using your phone whilst driving.
driving.
Just
Yeah.
imagine you've just paid for a Big Mac.
Yeah.
You've
This
already-
Big Mac just cost you as high as $534 and 5 demerit points.
Whoa.
So in Queensland, this is even higher. Have you
I
heard about
think
the
it's-
Queensland one?
I think it's 6 demerit points here.
It's
I could be wrong.
in Queensland. I believe it's 6 demerit points and $1,200.
Could you imagine? Do you have double demerits in Queensland?
No, so we get double demerits
I've
for.
never heard of anyone getting
Imagine,
double
imagine
demerits.
in New South Wales. I think there's some other state that
Yeah.
does it, but New South Wales does it. Imagine,
over public holiday weekends.
imagine
Yeah.
you pay with your phone at Macca's and you lose your license
Straight up.
because it's double demerits.
Yeah. So Queensland, we get double demerits for if you repeat the same offence for like a third time. So if you get caught speeding like 20 over the limit,
What
you
about
get
driving a clapped
you
out
lose
Sylvia?
like oh yeah, probably. If you get caught for too low 3 times, I think they can do some pretty crazy things. But yeah,
I've
it's like
always thought
yeah.
that it was 3
And they,
minor
like,
defects
they take
equal
your
a
car away
major,
or
or they
something.
take your
3
car.
minor at the same time,
I've done that. They did
and then it
nothing.
equals a major.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, I don't know.
I think it's 3 minor defectable items on your car is a major. But
Right.
because they got me from height and air filter, height
Yeah.
and air filter, height and air filter,
Right.
that's only 2.
You know, it'd be a
Maybe
really
6
good
times.
guest for this podcast, by the way. My uncle is a police officer. He used to work in the traffic
Snitch.
division. I
Snitch.
feel like. I feel like this would be a really good thing to bring up with him and explain stupid
Yeah,
laws.
that'd be pretty funny.
I
I've
feel like
had
that'd be
some
pretty
good
good.
conversations with some cops
Yeah.
whilst they're off duty. Just
Yeah.
ran into some
I've
bars
had
and stuff.
good conversations while they're finding me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
nice.
oh, these
Yeah.
new BMWs look nice, you know, because
Yeah.
I might as well chat to them and learn about their job.
To be
while
fair,
they're-
most of them are pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Most of them
definitely.
are pretty
I've
good.
had most
Apparently,
as well, yeah.
like regular cops hate traffic cops and stuff like that as well.
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
once down at the local,
Down at the- here we go.
I
A
got
good-
talking to some
good
guy
story
and he
starts like
Is
was
this in high country?
This is the low part of high country,
I was
bro.
trying to get you to.
Yeah, nice.
no, we were talking to him and he was an ex-highway patrol officer. I have no
Yeah.
idea what his name was, and then he became a normal police officer from there. I don't know how that all works, but then he was saying how much he hates the highway patrol and stuff, just because like he remembers he had to like meet quotas and stuff. And he said it was the stupidest thing he's ever done.
Definitely, like I always saw like all cops not cool. Don't go near them in my car. But then I've quite quickly learned that the
Yeah.
highway patrols are the ones that
The ones
get
that
me
pull
for
you
dumb
over,
things.
the regular police cars don't give a shit.
They
They're
do
probably
not
just going
care.
to and from the office or to and
Like,
from
if-
some other place.
If I see
yeah.
a normal police car at a car meet, like just not like an event organized one, like a car park one, I'm like, oh, that's nice. They're here to just keep an eye on things. Probably won't even call the highway patrol. But if it's just like, I've seen events where there's like 4 highway patrols, people getting done in car parks, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I wanna
Yeah.
leave.
At that point, I literally just walk away and come get my car in like 3 hours' time when everyone's
Yeah.
left. Yeah.
With 6 stickers on it.
Yeah. Can you actually get done while you're not at your car
Yes,
in Victoria?
I'm
they
not
changed it.
sure.
You can
They
now.
changed?
You
Okay,
can now. You can
that
be
sucks.
defected when you're not at your car.
That's ridiculous.
Was
okay.
one of you guys telling me you got
Gets it in the
done in
mail.
your car park, in your driveway?
No, my
No.
mate, he got done in his work's driveway. He's a mechanic.
Mm.
So it was during COVID times. So
Yeah.
he was still working because that's what mechanics
are essential.
do. And he was parked out the front of his workplace, and the cop came in and boxed him in and walked into the office and said, "Who's that car?" and defected him.
Whoa.
I'd be like, it's customers.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. Why
customers.
didn't you just say that? And he's like, "Oh, he probably would have just hung around and waited for me to leave."
The customers said they're going on holiday. We're looking after it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. He's a well-known cop around this area.
Oh, is that bloody Raptor 13?
I'm not gonna
like,
say-
whatever his name
Start
is,
with
or-
P.
Yeah, don't say his name.
Does it start with P though? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a
Well-known.
photo of him with his name and probably
Gave
well
my
known.
aunt a full engineer certificate
You got-
required defect.
You got Jason in the
Oh.
in the F250.
Oof.
He's
Really?
done a lot of
I
my,
was actually thinking
done a
the
lot of
other
my
day,
mates.
has the F250 been done before? Because
Yeah,
I thought that's kind of,
Surely.
I've never been into
Dude,
those
it's like
cars.
the-
I just thought that's how it was.
it's like
Yeah.
the biggest car.
And then I saw
in the
then I
area.
saw a normal one, and I'm like, oh, that's how
Oh
they're
yeah,
meant to
no,
look.
Jason's is huge,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
I just thought that was how they. I was like, American truck.
It's
you know?
it's a F250, one of the newer ones with an 8-inch lift on the 38s.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We don't know for
We have
certain.
a lot of cop listeners, Adam.
Yeah,
I was
Zach's uncle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
Zach's
It's
like,
okay.
"Hey, what's your boss's name?
Where do you work?
Oh, that's great. That's
We're all
great.
repping the rate
Yeah,
today.
Yeah, we all.
Until we
it's-
get our own merch.
It's
we-
almost like we all came from work.
It's almost as if Adam's house is closer to work than my house.
in my house. That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, you must have a hike back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's
all right.
telling me it's like
through
an
the
hour
mountains.
to drive in. drive
It's
to
through the
work.
mountains though, so it's good. Whose camera? Oh, it's
Oh,
mine this time.
Zachary!
We just
My
had a camera
turned
turn off. We will be right back.
Oh no.
Those 30-year-old vibes.
I don't know why that just happened.
Internal temp high.
How
allow
is
it
your
to cool.
camera overheating?
You
We
gotta
bo-
put
we both
it in,
have-
did you do it in the settings?
All right.
That's crazy.
Are we back?
We are back.
We're back.
We're back. Quick fix. All right. So let's move on to number 4. We've still got
Number
many to go.
Yeah.
Taking a detour through a petrol station.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I
You
get
can get done for
I
that?
actually didn't know that was illegal.
didn't know that
I
was
thought
illegal
it
too.
would be because I want to do it so much.
I do it a lot.
Allegedly.
Allegedly on the way to work, there's a really annoying intersection. And allegedly, there's petrol stations.
I reckon this podcast name should be allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly
We say
washed
it about-
up.
Allegedly washed up. There you go.
I didn't know that was.
What's the fine for that one?
So all these fines, I don't know like which states these
You
are.
should have
Sometimes
to
it
top up everyone's
specifies.
tank of fuel.
Bro, that would
That's
suck.
So expensive. $349 and 3 demerit points.
Ooh.
The shortcut is seen as illegal as it constitutes the drive on or over footpath rule.
But it's not because you're driving on would you call it a road? You're driving
But
on
then
private
wouldn't you
property.
be doing that if you...
Enter
yeah,
a
what the
petrol
hell? That
station?
doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Imagine driving up
What,
to the
is it
fuel
the
pump.
same if you cut through like a Macca's or something?
Yes. Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah. I think the
But then what's the
servo is
difference?
just more common.
What if I pulled into Macca's going, oh, I don't really want Macca's, and then drove out? Is that also
Because
illegal?
it's technically a car park.
Yeah, what
but
if I
then so is a
drove? What
fuel
if I drove in and went, oh, no, I'll get through with my fuel.
Guys,
and then just
this
drove
is.
out.
I can see why Zach gets so many fines. Because instead
'Cause I
of
would've
him
gone
going,
through-
"Oh, I'm so sorry, officer. I didn't know that this wasn't the dog beach." He's like, "Bro, there's four-wheel drive." See the difference.
Yeah, no, I don't sound like that.
Don't believe.
I don't know where I picked up the accent from, but whatever. Go for it.
Sorry,
mate.
sorry. That was a bit of what I do when I get pulled over.
What?
Why do I need? Borat
Why
or
is
something.
this defectable? Oh, I love that. That's great.
This one's only illegal in one state, and I'll get you to guess this one.
All right.
So the law is deliberately splashing pedestrians.
Oh, I have heard this
This
one.
is only illegal in one state in Australia.
Yeah. I don't believe it's Queensland though.
I want
Could
to
be.
say
I like how it's-
Victoria or Tasmania or something.
Is it Queensland?
No, it's New South Wales.
Oh, there you
New
go.
South Wales, they seem to be real strict. Don't they have to get yearly roadworthy?
Isn't that
They
like
do, yeah, they have to get yearly
yeah.
blue slips.
Gotta
That
get
would
your blue
suck.
slip, mate.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You can get them dodgy though,
I
allegedly.
basically do.
Allegedly.
I basically have to get a roadworthy yearly anyway, so
Yeah, well, that's your fault.
Why is that?
'cause my car's super illegal.
I
Is
would
it
have loved
really?
if your S13
Allegedly.
got done for too high. That'd be so
Yeah.
funny.
Is this a 3-inch lift, mate? Dog act.
So where drivers intentionally splash individuals on the footpath can be fined $187.
Bro,
That's
that
not
was
much.
like my
That's so
most
worth it.
favorite thing to do.
That's so worth it for
You see a
180
big
bucks.
puddle and
Yeah.
a bunch of school kids, and you're like,
Is
and
it
going
per
for it.
person or is it just 180 overall?
I don't know.
Because you could splash
Imagine
12
it was
school
per
kids.
person, yeah.
I tell you what, when you like hit a big puddle in the four-wheel drive and you're
Oh.
at speed, that
that's
shit
scary.
goes
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not like a little splash; it's a wave.
Yeah.
That's once again, we're going to high country, we're going off-roading and doing that. Not in New South Wales.
All right, you can stand on the footpath.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down for that.
I would actually do that because it'd be funny.
It would be great.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that this one is illegal, but it definitely never, ever has been enforced. Speeding up while being overtaken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah, dog
cops in
act.
Queensland used to sit up in like you know where there's actual proper like overtaking lanes. They used to sit on there and get speeders like doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
can you get done for speeding when you're just trying to overtake them?
there should be an
So, like-
overtaking speed.
Yeah.
I
So
agree,
like
yeah.
you can
Because
go.
I'm actually trying to be safer.
Yeah.
Because
legit.
if they do speed up, yeah. So say if you got the cops doing that and they speed up and they end up going like 10 k's over, because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But then you're going like 20 k's over to get in front of them because they've sped up. Are they really going to do the guy who's only going 10 k's over
No, they're
instead
gonna
of
do
you
you.
doing 20 k's over because he sped up? Like, I don't see how that is
Well,
going to.
there's a
happen.
overtake on my way to work,
Mm.
and before school traffic was back and it was just terrible, I'd occasionally go around people. And this one time, I'm like passing someone because they're going like 60 in the 80 zone. I'm like, I'll do it properly and legally. I'm going 80 and I'm slowly passing them. Another car comes around. They're freaking out, high beaming me. I'm like, mate, I've got plenty of time still. But like,
I think another road
it
you're talking
made-
about, yeah.
it made it so much more high.
Yeah.
Like if I just went up to 100 and dipped in front of them, it would have
Exactly
been
right.
safer.
So,
you
like,
know?
I don't know what the laws are with that. Like, how fast can you go when you're overtaking? Because I'm pretty sure
The speed limit.
technically it's a speed limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how to parallel park without a car behind you, and that's what you passed on your test.
But, like, the overtaking lane, so it happens a lot with me because it's like a mountain sort of area when we're away.
Yeah.
So it's just like single lane with a dotted line.
Well, you killed it when we were going to the snow.
Yeah.
You're like, I know one's coming up.
Yeah, well,
oh, here we go.
But, like, you don't have a lot of time to get in front of the other car. So
No.
if you-
Yeah, some of them are so short.
Yeah, so it's like you are better off going faster to get ahead of them and back in because sometimes they may well go the speed limit on a straight, but then they're going like 70 k's under around
Yeah,
the corners.
on everything else.
And
yeah.
it's like, bro, I'm using so much fuel slowing down this much and taking back off to 100, back down to 50, back up to 100, back down.
And your car just be overheating behind this
Seriously.
car
Yeah,
as well,
it would
wouldn't
be.
it? Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
If it was on a hill, my car wouldn't be overtaking it. I'd be the
Yeah.
one being overtaken.
Yeah.
'Cause it's so slow.
By the Starlet.
By the
Smokes
Starlet.
ya.
Smokes it.
It would. It would.
You reckon?
Yeah, my car's so slow.
Dude, it rages through the mountains. Jumps the
Starlet.
speed bumps. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was following it
Yeah.
today on the way here. Dude,
I was
it's
doing some left
crazy.
foot braking today, trying to feel out the pedals with
Those
my
speed
race
bumps,
Crocs
you could
on.
probably treat it as like a tabletop and like clear it, and then
I reckon you
let
could.
land smoothly, and
Without
you
a
wouldn't
doubt.
even feel
I
it.
used to have a Cressida. I can never say it right.
Cressida,
Cressida?
Cressida.
The Cressida, the crap one, not the cool one.
Yeah.
That can come
Yeah.
in manual. I got it for $200. I learned you do not jump speed bumps in that car. It does damage.
Yes.
I'm not a rally driver. But it was well worth it though.
I
$200.
I jumped the troopy and blew out all the shocks. It was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, that was
On
that was
the
stock
whole way
shocks. That was
home.
stock.
Have you seen cars go like, you
I
see
love
a
it.
lot of crazy things go up and then hit the ground and wheels like, oh,
Yeah,
like is that a common thing in four-wheel driving?
not really. It's more like they would break their suspension or like depending on what they do. So I've seen like wheels come off, like the
was,
whole hub shatters and a wheel comes off. But that was like a comp car, and they
My-
just smashed into a hole.
My podcast shower thought today was all of us trying to go for like an award in our respective field. And then I pictured us three trying to do that forward driving thing where you do the slack strap thing, you know, what's it called again?
So it's called a winch truck challenge.
Yep.
And basically how it works is there's a driver and there's a co-pilot.
Yeah.
So there's these impossible tracks, like they're made to be impossible. So the car has to drive up to it, the co-driver has to jump out, run the winch up the hill. So like it's pretty much like a cliff, and like they have to run up that. It could be muddy or something like that. And they have to hook it on, and then the driver winches the car up.
Yeah.
So the co-pilot is literally like running through bog holes, running up like cliffs, with like carrying stuff.
Yeah.
It's really hard work.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine you guys doing it.
No,
I was hoping to be the dangerous camera guy
does it
Dangerous
require
camera
or
getting
just
like,
passenger.
does it require getting like sweaty and dirty? Because I can't do that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I
Yes,
don't
it's.
sweat. I refuse to sweat.
I refuse to sweat. Yeah.
All right, on to the next one. Flashing lights to signal other drivers of speed cameras. Or
That's
RDT.
legal here now.
I did this on the weekend
it?
allegedly.
Yeah, they this has been recently rebutted.
Is it
Really?
Yeah, it was like
Well, that's a win.
police are allowed to be more sneaky with their speed cameras, but we're allowed to do the old.
Oh, cool. I did that on the weekend and I
That's a
worried
win.
that I was
Just
gonna
don't
get in
stick your
trouble
hand
for
out of the window. You know, that's a big fine.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do that.
it. Yeah.
Throw an apple at them.
That's
I'm pick and choose who I flash to let know that there's a speed camera.
yeah. If
I
it
like
looks
to flash people just if they look like they're speeding.
If I like their car, or if it's a modified like four-wheel drive
Yeah.
or something, I'll let them know. But if it's just a normal person, too bad.
Let's say if you see someone going well above the speed limit and they look like a dickhead, you don't flash.
Yeah,
them.
let 'em
No,
go.
I'll let them go.
Yeah.
They deserve that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Nah, see, and that's the same person that gets the cheeky. There's a speed camera around this corner, mate.
Yeah,
and
no,
you
fair
see,
enough.
and they slow down, and then it's like, and drive safely.
But yeah, it's always like I only flash like either nice cars that aren't modified or modified cars and like modified four-wheel drives.
Yeah.
Or a tradie on their way to work, because I always feel bad if a tradie gets done for like 5Ks over.
The only meme I will live up to with tradies is how much they drive up your ass on the way home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Ridiculous.
bro, you're in a huge truck. I'm in a tiny Starlet. We're in peak traffic. I can't go faster than the car ahead of me. And he's like, about to throw a big entry with me. And I'm just like, I'm pretty good. If someone looks competent, you know, I give a lot of leniency for truck drivers because I'm like, well, it's probably really hard to fit that big fucking thing in this tiny street. You know, I give a lot of leniency, but I hate that. I hate it with a passion.
Well, yeah, but that's different. So like, there's this one spot on my way to work. They're always
So
there.
you're about to validate your tailgating?
No, I'm not tailgating. I'm saying, but then they're coming the other way, and there's
Yeah.
one spot they're always there, and it's just like this open road. And at that time in the morning, there's like maybe 2 cars on the road
Yeah.
in that spot. And if there's like a tradie that I could see like come around the corner and they're probably late for work or something, because that's standard tradie things for a lot of people, probably an apprentice.
They get up at like 5. I can vouch for tradies now that I did it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And he comes around, I'm like, nah, I got you. I'll let you know.
I'm not allowed to bring up I'm a mechanic every 6 seconds. But
No. I did it for 3 weeks. I'm basically qualified.
Back when
so
I
if you can
slogged
just
it
back
hard
off,
for
that'd
3
be great.
weeks.
yeah. I had a and I'm gonna try to explain this without saying what the show actually says. But did you guys ever watch Little Britain?
Yes, I love that show.
I didn't.
I
know.
legitimately last podcast was like, I'm the only mechanic in the village the whole time. Another shower thought. I told you I have heaps of thoughts. I can't get my phone out to write them down while I'm in the shower.
I love how you think about
Us, you guys in the shower.
Yeah, thinking about us in the shower.
Well, no, I know that the sexuality of the bloke that you're talking about as
Yeah.
well, and the fact you think about him in the shower going,
Yeah.
I'm the only gay in the village.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's it's a vibe.
Yeah, you could call it that.
There used to be this kid at school that would just mimic so many. Computer says 9. Just walk around doing that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I
That was
loved it.
definitely-
You're also
definitely
showing your
you.
age a little
That was
bit. here, to be
definitely
honest.
Oi.
Yes, definitely. But
There
definitely
was this
Brenny.
kid.
Brenny was walking around going, hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Right, I just stopped
Just
going to
practicing
school.
his intro
Yeah.
every day. Every time he walks into class, hey, guys, Brenny here.
Yeah, I bet you were the kid that sat at the back of the class and played in his Minecraft the entire day without doing any work. Sound about right?
I feel like I came off like the cool kid, but I also had no friends. No.
Fair enough. You were the cool kid in your friend circle.
I'll get to the YouTube story once we get through this.
All right, they start to get a little bit specific.
Mm-hmm.
Mounting a curb or nature strip in a school zone. I didn't realize that was a different.
In a school zone.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
didn't realise
different
that was
from not being in a
classified as a
school
different
zone?
I don't know why it makes a difference.
No.
Like,
'Cause there could be
unless there's a
there
kid
could-
under the car.
Could be an orphan there.
What? Jeez. All right.
Have you not seen that TikTok?
No.
Oh, so just
yeah,
like
yeah,
imagine
I know
imagine
what
it's a
you mean,
TikTok
yeah.
of like
Guys.
guys.
Explain a TikTok to me.
It's
Yeah,
not
no,
that
no.
funny, is
Yeah.
it? Because
Yeah.
it could be an orphan.
Exact that one.
I have not seen this.
So just like imagine it's a video. You know how like guys like to throw rocks off a cliff into water or something?
Yeah.
Surely.
Well, yeah.
Like, so
I
it's,
do,
it's like
I
a clip,
do, but
clip
I
of
just-
that, and you can stitch on TikTok, you know, so you can put a video after the video.
Yeah.
And they basically say if they threw the rocket in the water, then it cuts to this guy and he's like, well, it's not that funny, is it? Because they could have been an orphan down. And as he does that on every single
yeah.
video.
Every single one of those videos. It could just be a random video of like someone burning pasta or something. It's like, well, it's not that funny, is it? Because it could have been an orphan that could have tried to eat that pasta and it would have been burnt. They would have burnt their mouths. It's like some shit like that. That just,
You guys
Yeah, it's
will
just
have to-
stupid.
I will take one of your favorite ones each, and then I'll have a giggle.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, so mounting a curb on nature strip in a school zone. I assume it's different because they're
Kids.
there's kids in the area. I don't know.
If a
Yeah.
kid's
It's
getting
a
that
big
close
one.
to the curb
It's a
and
big
getting under
one.
a car, it's just natural selection.
It's a big
all
one.
I don't like kids. So.
Follow up. That kid I was telling you about not only gave me this scar on my hand, he ran out and got hit by a car out the front of school. He was fine, but he was like running to his family. I've got to go. Got bumped. Luckily, the person
Wow.
was going over an applicable school zone speed,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah, that's good. Could have been speeding. We
Dented
don't know.
my car.
Is the car okay, mate?
Yeah, the old Super recovered.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, have a guess of the fine of this one.
For mounting a
and
curb.
the,
gotta
and,
be
and
a
the
lot.
demerit points.
$680.
Is this just
for-
counting like the Karen that like all of her rims are just gutter rashed and she
Oh, I don't
accidentally
know.
mounts
She
it
didn't
on
mount
one?
the curb. She ran the curb.
Well, I mean, if she's that bad at driving, then somehow every now and then I could imagine her back wheel like lifts up and she does a
Yeah.
mad flex like Adam tries to do in all of his photos and stuff like that.
Adam does none of that in his
He
photos.
doesn't.
No.
You've never done flex photos.
Not really.
Actually,
None of my
I
cars have
haven't-
flexed very
Yeah,
well, so
I
I just
know.
haven't done it.
Your car the other day was doing the little wobbles. That was really cute. I was like, oh, it's like it's a big car.
Yeah, it doesn't flex very well, so
Okay, fair enough.
can't really promote that.
I'll put it out there. I reckon it might be $250.
So, motorists who mount or curb or a nature strip while in a school zone could be punished. Oh my god, I can't read. With a fine of $464 and lose.
Did I say 480 or 680?
You said 680 and lose 4 demerit points.
I said 4 demerit
No
points.
matter how narrow the street is or how difficult it is to find a car spot, so they could even just be parked, and they would get that fine.
That's ridiculous.
Well, it's just you still mounted the curb.
Yeah, but you mounted it at like 2 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
well,
ridiculous.
I wouldn't expect a quick mounting of the curb. I would understand if you're 50 or something. The fine's actually just for speeding.
Yeah, right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
$480.
Yeah, 464.
464.
That's up to, so I don't know what the other
Yeah,
ones
okay,
are.
fair enough.
So the next one is also oddly specific. Not allowing horses to get through.
What?
Encountering a horse on the road might not be a daily occurrence, but it's helpful to note it is illegal in Queensland for a driver to not give way to a horse that is difficult to guide. If a horse refuses to move, the rider should signal.
So it's horse and rider.
The rider should signal that by raising a hand and point to the horse, the driver must then maneuver to the left, turn off their engine, and wait.
See, the
If
key
not, the
word
drivers can be
here
fined $130.
being the horse being difficult to ride. At what point do you have to like? So what's the turning point for a horse being difficult to ride and not difficult to ride to the point where you can cut them off?
I mean, I'm not. You guys probably haven't had to go past
I've
the
never
horse
overtaken
before.
a horse.
I've overtaken horses.
It's very scary. Like,
It is scary.
I understand that they don't want people going fast past horses and stuff
Yes.
because they can just lose their mind.
Yeah.
But why do you have a horse on a road is my other question.
Yeah, like how far fucking long ago was this rule made?
I don't know. It's only $130 fine, so you could
Well,
just
that's
send
fine.
Why
Just
don't
cut 'em off.
Do horses have to pay registration?
it.
Do they have to?
Yeah,
have
where's the
indicators?
TAC on a horse?
Same as
Yeah.
cyclists. You can just cut them off and it's not really an issue
Yeah.
because they don't pay
You
registration.
just throw an apple at a cyclist, they'll be fine.
You throw an apple at a horse, does it get a fine, or are you feeding the horse?
True.
Oh, true. True,
Yep,
true.
yep, yep.
Unless you give them a poisonous apple, that could be a dangerous littering.
You know that makes
Dangerous littering.
that,
Yeah,
that makes complete sense to me though. But it's,
Yeah, like-
it's a bit dumb. Like it's like when L-platers that aren't ready to be on the main roads or on the main roads. Would you not do the same thing with the horse?
I mean, like this. I'm assuming, obviously, this wouldn't be on. A
Yeah, but
main
you
road.
don't stop and give way to an L-plater by turning off your engine and letting them do whatever they need to do.
If they point at the car like that, I might.
Like,
Yeah.
like I would say this is like back roads where there's just houses and it's like dirt
And they're like
roads.
going
and-
between their paddocks or
yeah,
something.
I'd say it would be something like that.
But
So,
I would get a
yeah.
fine for driving my drift car between paddocks.
Exactly right. Let's
That
say
is true.
the
Yep.
horse
That
rider.
is
Did
true.
you say that the horse rider had to signal the fact that their horse is potentially
If the
unstable?
horse refuses to move, the
So
rider
what
should
happens if the
signal
horse
by
rider
raising
puts
a
their
hand.
hands outside the horse's window? Do they get a fine for that one there?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
What's the go there?
Yeah,
I didn't understand that.
I don't like horse riders either.
No.
hot take.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hot take.
yeah.
We're
Horse,
losing.
horse riders on the freeway.
Tonight
Not
we've
a
got
fan.
Horses on a
cyclists
freeway.
and horse riders. And people that
I
don't
bet your
understand.
uncle's not too keen on us either.
No, probably not, but I'll keep you right.
But yeah, I would say be careful around horses because horses scare me. They're too big. They're
Dangerous
too big.
animals. Yeah.
Why are
Yeah,
they so
Adam
big?
and I, but are you scared of horses?
I've been on horses multiple
I
times.
have
I
never
don't mind
been.
them.
I am scared of
Why are
horses.
they so
I don't
big?
know. It's because they're too big.
I've just seen the videos where they just randomly just kick straight in the face.
You know,
Yeah.
see, I associate that with the same feeling I get with the ocean, though. The ocean terrifies me, but you're rather aquatic.
No, I don't like the
You're
ocean.
like
You're rather
he's a
aquatic.
fucking dolphin.
I don't
mate.
like the
It's like
ocean. I like rivers.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
right.
an
But,
ocean.
yeah.
I just love the way you said it. You're rather
Oh,
aquatic.
it's been a big topic.
Yeah,
in
it
the
has been a
past.
big
Yeah,
topic.
okay,
in the
right, yeah,
past.
yeah.
Adam's like, oh, I'm not like I can't kneeboard, surfboards, fucking ski, helicopter, parachute.
I
thing.
like doing like boat
aquatic shit.
boat activities.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Boat
Physical-
activities.
yeah.
Boat exercises. Yeah,
Boat
okay.
activities. They have good fun. All right, the last one.
Mm.
This is a weird one. It's just I don't really understand how you can be fined for this.
Yeah.
Leaving your key. Well, this is said wrong. This is exactly how it's said. Leaving your key in the engine. I think that means ignition. About 1,000 New South Wales drivers each year are issued with a fine for leaving the key in the ignition while they themselves are not present. The fine for the act is $114.
Yeah, isn't it to prevent theft or something along
Yeah,
those
because
lines? or-
surely the biggest fine for leaving your keys in the ignition is to lose your car.
Yes.
It gets stolen.
Yes.
Is
think
this
the
to like prevent a
reason-
kid getting in the car and just like doing whatever the hell they want?
We really like babysit the world too much.
Mm.
Like, it should be like I should feel safe to leave my keys in the car and know it's still gonna be there, but we
Yeah.
can't, unfortunately cannot.
It's
think
a
the-
weird fine.
The weirdest
though.
one I think is, or the reason I think they do it is because if you leave your keys in the ignition and it does get
It's stolen.
taken, then the money to retrieve that car for all the police officers' work and everything far outweighs the.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Whatever. I just
why
wish
are
we
you
lived
leaving
in a
your
world-
keys in the ignition?
It just sounds weird.
It's
Yeah.
a weird thing to be fined for, and it's a weird thing to do.
Yeah, Yeah.
I feel like you'd only do it
But
in a
only-
small town. where
In
you
like
know
that's
in
everyone.
like country towns and
Yeah.
stuff, I've done it a lot because there's literally no one there.
Yeah.
But
I have.
I was at a country town and a cop did it actually. He just like left his car on, like,
Really?
left the door open, walked in, got a coffee, walked out.
I always see like the Uber drivers do it when they drop off the thing. The amount of times I just want to run and hop in their car to freak them out and actually just messing with you, like. But
Still keeps
I
running
don't
and
know how
tackles you.
well that would go. They might, crack the shit.
Yeah.
So I won't do that.
Yeah, I might add this cop is like the middle of nowhere. Is where those like if you get stuck to wait for a train, you're there for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like,
love those.
dude, massive.
Yeah,
so
they're
long.
so fascinating. It's like, holy fuck, how long does this go for?
Yeah, it had like 3 engines towing it, also like the 3 starts
That's
of the trains, whatever
crazy.
you
I
call it.
swear once at my old mechanic job, I sat at the lights and watched 7 different trains go past. I was like cracking the shit. I was actually early and ended up being 30 minutes late because I'm like at these lights for like, oh my God. But if it was one of those long ones, I would have been perfectly fine with it because they're so cool.
Yeah,
like,
they are cool.
Yeah.
How
They're
have we
massive.
figured that out? Like
What training?
tons and tons.
Yeah, how does it move that much?
How does it not block 2 intersections? How does nothing go wrong? There's so many answers that they've figured out.
Could you imagine hooking up that many trailers?
Yeah, that would suck.
My lord.
Imagine you hooking them all up and you're like, oh, fuck, I left my keys on one of the trailers.
Or you left too many carriages in between the ones where you're supposed to put a train
You
in the
forget
middle.
to do one and
Oh,
just like
Did you
drive
imagine
off.
just hooking up 160 carriages and going, shit, I forgot the train.
Did
Yeah.
you
That sucks.
see not that long ago with the floods, just out of Horsham, there was a little bridge that got destroyed by the floods.
so.
Whole like, what's the type of train you call it? Like, I forget it.
Puffing Billy.
No,
Steam train.
Steam
No,
train.
Coal train.
cargo train. That's
Cargo
the
train.
one.
Jinx, jinx, personal jinx. You can't speak for the rest of the
Whole-
verbal podcast.
The whole cargo train.
Zach and Brenny show.
With our co-host that can't speak.
Yeah, the whole cargo
Our
train
guest.
derailed because of this one little bridge that got destroyed.
Derailed?
Derailed. It was everywhere. How do you
That
even
would've been
clean that
a
up?
crazy, like
Like, no one was
visual.
harmed in it because it wasn't
Yeah.
a passenger one,
That's
and the
good.
driver was fine. Because it was actually after the driver had gone past it.
Oh,
drivers would
collapsed
they have?
after this.
Is it singular?
I think there's
driver?
one per train. One,
'Cause,
one
like,
per.
surely that's a. Firstly,
engine.
that guy would have to be getting paid a lot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
surely.
I think
And
so.
secondly, like, seems like the most efficient way to be getting things around. One guy can move like 8 billion tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it collapsed after you went through. So like a few carriages went over it, and because it was weakened from the floods, it collapsed, and then it just shit went everywhere. It was a fascinating photo, like from above.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
right.
just-
Yeah, like I'm like I really just want to see this, but this is audio.
Did the
And
carriages
video.
stay connected?
I don't
I'm
know.
picturing them
They went everywhere.
Everywhere.
It was like a movie.
because it would have been moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't exactly like really slow down. I don't.
Did
think.
the
I think
full
they're
train come
up.
off? Or was it like,
Oh,
did it manage to stop somehow?
Bro, they're so long. There's no way the whole thing's. gonna
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, I don't think the whole thing came off.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember, but it was pretty hectic to see.
All right. New topic. Zachary,
Yes.
what got you into YouTube?
Oh.
I want to hear the humble beginnings as I am new to you and your channel.
All right, fair enough.
I watched your latest video.
Yep.
I've watched a few of your videos. Lots of driving, but I
Yes.
believe you were built off Fords. You told us a bit about the Fords the other day.
I was built way before that.
What-
Way before that.
I was built way before.
Built?
I was built.
What got you into it? Why did you get into it? Why do you have this weird fascination of can't just go to a track? You got to film it.
All right.
That we all
so, the way that Zach Baldy started was when I was 8 years old. My
8.
parents got a
Actually,
camera.
I take that back.
A little
When
tiny-
you were 8, there was technology.
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
I was 8,
exactly right.
there was no.
We weren't just like writing at school on slates like we were basically, so it's all right.
funny.
Yeah.
iPad 1 thing.
Oh, really? Really? Yeah, no, my parents got a digital camera and I started making like little tiny skits with my brother and sister back when we were, I think like 8, 6, and 4, I think we were, and we were making little skits and stuff. I made the videos for my parents on Windows Movie Maker. And
Did you do that rainbow color effect?
Oh, 100%.
Had to.
You know, like the chroma background for like the titles and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, Comic Sans titles with chroma backgrounds, and then it would like star wipe into a new
Wow.
scene. That's basically how
Peak.
Zach
Adam,
already
Adam,
started.
you need to
peak
get your
editing.
phone out. And
Yeah, I'm
start
gonna take
taking
notes.
notes.
I'm take notes.
So yeah,
peak.
when I got to I think about when I was maybe 12 years old, my parents let me have a YouTube account. I was begging them for years to try
There
and get
wasn't
one.
YouTube when I was 12. I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm so old.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was a while ago. I think the first YouTube video was up like 16 years ago or
What
something like that.
videos do you remember watching on YouTube? What's your first YouTube videos?
So I used to watch Nigga Higger a lot,
yeah,
and I used to watch Fred. And
I think I got introduced
actually
to
kind
YouTube
of
by
sounds
Fred.
like your intro is like, "Hey guys, Rennie here," and I'm like, "Hey guys, it's Fred." Kind of sounds the same. It's understandable.
Adam,
when
can you paint a
I
picture
think-
of my anger right now?
So yeah, I pretty much got
Brendan
into
is very
YouTube from
upset.
that. And yeah, I think other little videos. I used to watch a lot of Nick Air films for scooter riding because that's how I kind of got into YouTube. I used to do RC racing, scooter riding, and all that sort of stuff, and I wasn't very good at much of that. So I used to go film my friends doing that. This was
Nothing's
back when
changed.
I was, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I was never really good at anything, so I used to just get it behind a camera and film, and I'm still not even great
same,
at
Same.
that. So yeah, I started doing back when I was 12 years old. I did gaming, and then I did Freerider 2, the little BMX game.
Yeah.
Yes!
What a game.
Yeah.
What a
Wait,
game.
this is a WASD one?
Correct, yeah.
Like mini clip ass game?
Yeah, my computer was literally not fast enough to screen record that. It was in 12 FPS, and I used to screen record myself
you
playing
use
Freerider 2.
Unregistered hypercam.
I used Bandicam.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
other
yeah.
one, the Bandicam at the top.
Yeah, I had a massive logo like
Yeah.
across the top left of the screen.
You just zoom the crop in, mate.
Yeah, I didn't know how to do that because I was with Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah,
It
fair
would just
point.
star wipe it, and I wouldn't know
Yeah.
what to do. So then I just left it, and it was star wiped everywhere.
Star Wars.
Poor people with epilepsy trying to watch my videos. Just star wipe.
That
star
was your
wipe.
core audience.
But yeah, no. So I think my YouTube channel, my first YouTube channel was called RC Buggy 100, and it's got some interesting videos on there.
It's not as cool as Cool Guy 16 or whatever.
Cool Guy 16. Was that yours? Was it?
No.
Oh, there you
No,
go.
he's lying.
No, you'll have to guess it. That's not it.
You know, Adam
I can't
Alziz was
remember.
That's not it.
Adam Alziz was BMX Guitar 5, which is really even weirder. It's weirder than my nickname, but
I'm going to be Minecraft S13 69.
that's what yours is gonna be
Sure.
now, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
New
Go
channel.
for it.
Everyone subscribe.
So 12 years old, I was doing that. I was making gaming videos, and then I got into scooter riding. So I used to go down to the skate park and use my sister's point and shoot camera because it had
So
better.
you're going to say Sister Scooter and I just push my tassels and you're like...
No, I had a Razor A. It was not even the pro model, so I couldn't even bolt it. Like it was people who rode scooters would know. You used to have to bolt the folding mechanism so they wouldn't, like when you land on a jump, they wouldn't go like this. You have to bolt them. That was back then. And then I used my sister's point and shoot camera because it had better quality than my mum's camera, but it was still shooting in 480 20 FPS. So I was making
Ooh, that's some
YouTube
high
videos on that.
quality.
It was a high quality
slow
back
that down.
then.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah, I used to slow-mo that with quick stuff. It's pretty bad.
Wow.
And this is about the point where I got into Sony Vegas. So this was
Oof.
about
He
Stuff
never
it
got
is-
out of
I
it.
never got out of
it.
never got out of
Once you go
Sony
Sony
Vegas.
Vegas, mate, you never go back.
So I used Sony Vegas 8. That was my
Wow.
first Sony Vegas, and I used every single one since then. Does
Your
this
life
hurt
is
you?
a living hell. It's like
The
the,
amount of
worst
crashes that I've had in
program
the
to
past
use.
is ridiculous.
Can't believe you.
Yeah. So that's how YouTube started. Is I did that, and then everyone progresses. When you go to the skate park, you get into cars, and I've done RC cars, gaming. I went to scooter riding, and then mountain biking, and then into cars. And I actually dabbled in a little bit of travel vlogs because me and Sarah really wanted to make like a couples vlog channel. So if you look up my first ever vlogs on my channel are actually travel videos where me and Sarah would go climb a mountain or do something.
They're literally like my favorite videos.
Really?
So old mate Adam needs to get the uploads going. He
Interesting.
needs to get the misses in there.
Yeah, but this was really
Sick of seeing his big head.
this was really bad travel vlogs. Like, you know, when there's like a couple and you can tell that they don't enjoy what they're going to do. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
they go to Paris and they go, oh my God, we're in Paris now. We're going to go to this cafe.
And
And
it's
oh my
like-
God, it was so lovely. And all this
The
sort of
vlog
shit.
is to pay the bills, not because you're doing
Exactly
it as
right.
a
Yeah.
passion
Like
thing.
we had fun doing it, but it was kind of like we didn't really have a passion to make travel videos.
Yeah.
And so I basically turned to Sarah like after we did 6 of them, and I was like, look, my passion is for cars.
Average
Yeah.
travel vlogs.
Didn't get to the 7th.
Didn't get to the 7th. It was about the 7th episode, and we just quit completely. Right, we just ran out of ideas.
That's why she's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's gonna happen again. So much money invested.
She was hyper focused into this thing. Right? So about the 7th vlog in, I just decided. I literally went to Sarah and I'm just like, hey, look, I don't really like these travel videos. We spend a lot of money doing it, and I really like cars, so I'm gonna start doing a car channel.
So I'm gonna spend a lot of money on cars. And not take you anywhere.
I spent a lot of money on cars, and that's pretty much where it started. I had an NA Falcon, and I started making videos on that.
Whereabouts was your following at then? Would you count that as like your start point, or
So
because you would
the
have had
first,
like a few hundred?
the
or
first 10 years I did YouTube, I
Holy
developed 1,000 subs.
How long
and
have you been doing YouTube for?
I've been doing YouTube since I had that account, 12 years or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Pushing up to me, I reckon.
Yeah.
I consider myself like the second series of YouTubers.
Yeah.
Like I watched that first generation and then
Yeah,
went,
so you would have
I'd
seen
like to do that.
I need
like
to figure out.
I made my account back when the
Can't
biggest
Google.
channel that was ever around was like 500k subs.
Mm.
Like,
I watched like the YouTubers hitting 1 million and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that,
I was
like-
around for that time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, when PewDiePie was very, very small at
The
200,000.
first YouTube videos I actually watched were Weird Al. Like he's like
he was an OG.
It's like everyone used YouTube to just listen to music
Yeah.
at school. That was like when
Yeah.
I discovered YouTube. I remember the girl that showed me YouTube. And
back
I'm
when
like, no way.
PewDiePie used to play Amnesia. Back in the
Yeah.
day.
I'm feeling
The-
sooner than that.
The first
Wow.
YouTuber I would have like actually followed would have been PewDiePie, and I remember he was on 50,000 when I subscribed.
There you go.
I was pretty
You're an
on
OG for PewDiePie.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah, that's
big
mental.
fan. Big fan.
Yeah. Oh
If
yeah.
only he could shout out a big fan.
I think it's going on 12 to 14 years or something like
Yeah,
that.
right.
But yeah, my first 10 years was only getting 1,000 subs. But before I even started doing vlogs, I was already monetized because it was so easy back in the day to get monetized. So I think it was like 100 hours and 1,000 subs, and you were sweet for
I was
monetization.
before that.
Were you really?
You had to email Google.
Yeah.
had to email
You were
YouTube,
saying
yeah.
that. Yeah.
You had to email like, I would like to get partnership. They reached out to me and then they wanted like an email back of why I should like have partnership. Every single video you wanted to monetize, you had to fill in a little like thing and send it. I wrote it in a notepad and I either used to copy and paste it or attach that notepad to every video I was uploading. And it was like, Minecraft is owned by Mojang. Mojang is owned by Notch, and Notch gives permission to all creators to monetize their content. Some crap like that. You know, like I was a young lad trying to be like, oh crap, they want to pay me for this.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the vintage days was definitely.
It's a completely different era, isn't it?
I miss the profiles when you could have the whole background be your own custom thing.
Yes.
So you'd have people
I used to
make
spend
different
hours doing
backings,
shit backgrounds. It
and
was
you could
great.
have HTML code in your banner. So
Yeah.
you could, like make different clickable spots.
Yeah, right.
For like links and stuff.
Yeah. I used
This
to
is
do
all
a.
before Adam.
I
Yeah,
used to
it's
do
all
a
before
big
me.
glow behind the Zach. I used to be called Zach Baldy Films, and I had a big glow that came from the back of that whole thing, and it went around the entire page. It was great. YouTube
like
channels
it, I
used to
like
look so cool.
You know, have you gone on the Wayback Machine and gone and looked at your
I
old
would
channel?
love to.
It's actually a vibe.
Can we
like-
do that after this?
We can do that.
I really want to go see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I think yeah. So after I did the travel videos is when I properly started getting paid, and I was doing Falcon stuff. And at the point, no one was doing Falcons on YouTube. There was like two people that
shouldn't be.
still shouldn't be. No. No. So yeah, I did that, and then I had the Turbo Falcon, and that's where I developed probably most of my following. So that was about 35,000 subs. I got to the point where I sold that car, and then I bought the FD. And that got me, well, the two FDs that I've had in the Skyline have now got me to around 47 or 48, maybe. Probably 47, I think. So that's where it's, that's where it's
I feel
there.
like you sell the FD and just buy like three. Have an off-roading Falcon, a drift Falcon, a grip race Falcon.
Sell the FD and sponsor the podcast.
Ooh, you know, my mate, shout out my mate for doing this. He's like, I could make you guys a nice custom table. And I'm like, Adam would not be
Adam
happy
would
with that.
not be
Our
okay.
table is actually nice and custom. And yeah.
It is a nice table, but
It's a beautiful table.
He makes, he was the one I was actually going to suggest you get to do your boot drills
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And I was like, nah, this is a pretty nice table. We can't drill holes
A
in it,
nice
though."
heavy hardwood set of drawers in the back of your
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Nice
how-
800 kilo set of drawers.
He'd do it. He's done it. If I could remember.
I mean,
his-
if he wants to make a custom table, he can make a custom table.
I'm not
But
paying.
no, I'm
those
not paying
epoxy
him for it.
tables that
Sponsored.
come up. Yeah, epoxy tables are pretty sick.
Yeah,
Have you
epoxy
seen them?
Epoxy table was
Oh,
crazy.
Isn't epoxy expensive?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
ridiculous.
stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
I wanted to make shifters, and I wanted to get the Boss coffees and drill a hole
Yeah.
on the bottom and fill them with epoxy.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to film with that isn't expensive or shrinks or And so I completely
Cement.
gave up on that idea. And maybe someday I'll do it in my own car, but that's about it.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually have 3 Boss coffee cans you could probably use too. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's fine. There's 3 of us.
There's 3 of us.
Crazy.
Crazy. I don't want one.
Crazy.
I've got an order.
I totally dig the caramel ones.
Oh yeah.
Oof. But they make me break out.
There's
for
one that
some
they
weird
have
reason.
with like condensed milk in it. It's like a
All of them.
goldy. It's like a goldy but diamondy sort of looking can. I like it.
It's the golden black one, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. I don't. A lot of foreigners get it because it tastes like the regular coffee, but it's like full condensed milk. It's so good.
I'll have to try it, but yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely do not agree with my body.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about your roots? You started
Roots.
gaming.
Yeah.
Was it gaming?
Yeah. So if we go back as far as we can go.
Jeez, I don't know if we have time to.
Yeah.
go
Do
that
you
far
have 3
back.
months? No. So I always
Back in
Back in
my
the Stone
day.
Ages.
So before YouTube. No. I found out about YouTube.
You were around when the internet came out.
I was around when dial-up was around.
Yeah. Well, so was I, but I was only like 3 years old at the time.
I played this. I'm pretty sure it was Maggie, and she did not know that. Like,
That's
used to
so
make the most
sad.
terrible sound like when your internet was connecting. No, I consumed a lot of YouTube. It definitely was a platform like I just got sucked into, and obviously being a gamer, it just slowly one thing led to another, and I like make just like crap RuneScape videos, Movie Maker.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of there was a Nightwish. It was like it's like this like high pop. Yeah, it's like this like really hardcore like war sounding music. Meanwhile, it's my little character on RuneScape like wiggling across trying to chase someone. But yeah, I made videos like that, and I just did it casually for like fun. And it was just because I watched other people make videos like that, and I was like, I want to do that. But it actually really kicked off as in high school when all the guys would come over to my house, and I would tape my phone to a speaker and aim it at my TV, and we'd all play COD. And because we had,
Man.
but by the time everyone got there and we had junk food and ate and set up this elaborate filming station, we had about an hour. So we started making what were called hourtages. And so we'd all play, we'd take turns, 1 game of COD each, and then they'd all go home. And
Yep.
I'd stay up all night editing it and then bring it to school on my iPad so we could all watch it while the YouTube video that took 7 hours to uploaded while I was at school.
Yeah, but it used to take like 8 hours or something
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
a video
yeah.
I
uploaded,
used to
yeah.
hit upload and go to bed, and then
Yeah,
it'd still be
yeah.
uploading in the morning.
But when I was on mad full grind, because I feel like back in the day I had 0.7 upload,
Mhm.
0.7 of a meg. So I would play Minecraft, be filming, recording a new episode while the other one was uploading. And then like I'd render at the end of like a play session. And then like I just was always uploading while I was playing because it was the only time I could. And I only ever played single player Minecraft anyway. Anyway, so the lads would go home, come back to school the next day. We made about 7 of them. No, I think 5,
Mhm.
4 or 5 little hourtages. By the last one, it was not an hourtage. It was like us spending like until 4 a.m. on a Friday night playing. But I already named it after the first one. So I just went along with that. Anyway, as they were getting to be a bit more elaborate, we wanted cooler clips in them. The lads were only coming over on the weekends. So throughout the week, I started playing Minecraft. And I was like, I'll show off my world. That's what people were doing at the time, world tours. And I did a little world tour. And people were like, oh, how'd you do that? And I'm like, I can make a video how I did that. And that's what led into it. And it rapidly grew. And
You know what's funny? Your first ever survival thing that you did on
watched completely by you.
yeah. I remember back in the day, I was really addicted to Minecraft for like a week, and I used to watch.
For like a week. That was my week of
Yeah,
popularity.
'cause this was what, 8 years ago. You made that
Yeah,
survival
it's
video.
probably longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't specifically remember, but I probably have watched.
Yeah,
In
The videos.
Australia, I was like, I can't remember. I don't think it, because at the time
it would have been
before
one of the
music
biggest
channels
videos.
started charting.
Yeah,
But like
He was playing with Vicstar 123 from the side, man.
yeah, many moons.
Really?
The 123.
Yeah.
What,
I've played-
Vicstar?
I've had the honor of playing with and meeting a lot of big YouTube lads nowadays. It's really funny because I'm like, fuck, what did I do wrong?
We should definitely talk about that on a different podcast, I reckon,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people that you've met, which is pretty cool, and
Yeah.
people that may potentially be coming on the podcast.
Yeah,
one day.
yeah, which I've definitely had a lot of interesting things come upon from doing YouTube full time. Keep it short. It started to make money at a time I didn't need money. I lived at home with my family and had my life covered. So all the money just went back into buying new computer shit and lollies and food and yeah, it kept going up until it just coincidentally lined up with my life. At the time, I was still going to school. I just stopped going because I never tried at school anyway. So it was kind of like, mid-year 10, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to not go. I'm going to play Minecraft 16
It'd be
hours a day.
such a weird thing back then too. Like
Yeah,
people would
that
have
would've
been like,
been
"What?
huge for your parents.
What do you mean?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually was speaking about this with Maggie the other day. My whole family always, most of them, had my back. They're like, yeah, if it makes you happy and it's paying your bills, you do it. You know,
Yeah.
they didn't care if
Yeah.
it made enough to just cover the bills, which sometimes it did, or enough to buy a Supra, which it did. Yeah, they just had my back. But I remember my uncle, and he probably said it a little bit too late. He was the first one that said like, wait, you're making that much a month from this, and you can just keep doing it. And he just said it too late. He said it as my account, like I was just at that like about to give up point. Whereas I think if he said it on the up, it just stuck with me. I can't fully remember. I legitimately word for word said it to Maggie the other day, but yeah, I don't have any like regrets with it all. Like I stopped at a time where my mental health was struggling to, produce.
Because
Like,
it's a hard job. It's crazy.
yeah. Like the time that I was most popular, I made this rule. If I get 2,000 likes and 2,000 favorites, because at the time favorites and likes like bunched together to put you on the front page for Australia, I was like, I'll upload another video. I'd be like 8 hours into making that video of my little hardcore Minecraft world, and then I'd already blown past that. So I'm like, all right, 3,000. And I swear I got to like 8,000 before I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I'm hitting these goals too quickly. But the chat, like, it was growing so quickly. And if I held on to that, if I figured out, like, this is growing quickly, you need to get someone in to be editing these or just take some kind of burden off of me, it could have gone somewhere. I also said no to a lot of opportunities. I was a solo YouTuber.
So for the people listening at home, by the way, as well, or in the car or whatever, so we haven't really spoke about how big your channel is. How many subscribers do you currently have, and how many did you have in the peak?
I think I have about 130, 40,000.
Which for back then,
And
you have
I
a-
peaked at close to 180.
Yeah, which was
back
what
then
year?
is huge.
Years, I think the bigger number is when I hit about 100K, because at the time
Yep.
that was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like
Yeah.
when I hit 100K, I got a $500 gift voucher. I got the old plaque, the
Yeah.
first edition. I got the YouTube bag. You could pick a bag or a camping chair, and
Yeah.
like it was so much more personalized. But now obviously the platform's huge, and
Yeah, people
100K
regularly hit 100K.
people can.
It's like
don't consider that a
100K
big
back
channel
then was
anymore.
like probably like what we say, 1 million now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
reckon if the economies, what is it?
Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
No,
Inflation.
Subscriber inflation is wild now. Yeah, no, and then you have like other platforms that can just like, and even shorts and stuff that just can blow you up, and then like I don't know, I've had,
The market is so saturated for videos at the moment, isn't it?
yeah. I always found the thing that worked for me was like I wasn't ever doing anything crazy. It was just always slightly out of the norm. Like I played
Yeah.
hardcore Minecraft. When I streamed, I had a heartbeat monitor because if I died, my heartbeat got up to 177.
Holy.
Yeah, which is fun, and
Yeah.
I just little quirky things like that. But then they're the people that keep going with that are the people that pioneer it, like Mr. Beast doing crazy things you just wouldn't have thought possible with.
But they're such
YouTube money
simple
nowadays.
ideas, though. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, and some of the more simple ones are the ones that go bigger.
Exactly right. Yeah.
It's very you just don't know what will hit nowadays. I feel like back when I did it, I'd be like, this is a solid idea. It will work out. And now it's like, this is a great idea. Nothing,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, then you put up like a shitter video and all of a sudden that gets views.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
why?
Yeah, that's the vibe. Where
I think we all have a video that we regret putting up that went absolutely viral.
I remember, and I won't say exactly what I said, but I did a collab with someone that was a bit, they were very edgy, and my channel was not edgy. So I'm like, you cannot say this, and all these things. I like basically repeating things he was saying to me before the video. He put that as his intro. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably my. I don't really have like some of my content was definitely like, this is what I could do with the time. I need to hit my daily upload regime, you know. And some of it was definitely I was really stressed out and weighted, and I'm like, I got to make this work because it was all I knew. But then when that became too much, I became a mechanic, which was always my intentions of being a backup because I loved cars and drifting and stuff.
Yep.
And always was a thing I wanted to do. And I find myself surprisingly keener to do it than ever after, you know, picking up your camera and feeling somewhat comfortable. Whereas
Yeah, you were good on it. It was fun. It was good fun.
I didn't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it alone, and I don't know how to do it with someone that's never done YouTube before. They don't understand presenter mode, and you know, you're not a different person. You're just not like, you know,
Yeah. I try really hard to be just myself on camera though. Like especially in my videos, I won't put on a persona like a lot of other YouTubers will.
Yeah.
And I feel like you didn't do the same either. You were kind of yourself.
I just
and,
G'd up.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's like an elevated self. You just
Yeah.
take yourself and just turn it up a little bit.
See,
Just be a little
thing
bit
is,
louder.
like, and you'll say you've seen my videos, you've gone through, and everyone plays them at work.
Yeah.
So
I tell you what,
Hey,
the office
guys.
every day.
my whole family, friends, everyone's done it to me at this point. I'm just kind of used to it. Like if you go back to that core point where it was like this, no money matters, no nothing, just making sick videos. It was very organic, like just me having a good time, and that's what ideally like I'd like to do someday again. And that's what this podcast really was. I was in the shower once again.
Yeah.
Thinking about the boys.
every story. I was in the shower.
How can I get closer to these blokes I work with? That's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like,
I just want to talk to them for hours on end.
I had the. I don't
After
know
we've
how
already talked to each other for hours on end at work.
I don't know how it didn't really come to any of us sooner. I think it's because Zach's new. We had that like a 2-man podcast. Just doesn't like.
I was worried I was going to be pissing you guys off at the end of the first week because I talk a lot. So yeah, that's fair.
No, I think I think you coming on board, and then how like well we all meshed with such similar interests. My brain's like, you have to do it. Take it. I remember I texted Adam. I texted our work chat. I've got the best idea ever.
Pissed me off so much. I was out for breakfast.
Legit,
And he's
I
like,
think he said-
I've just had $1 million idea.
exactly
and I
what
was
he
like,
said.
I was like,
Had
what?
$1 million
And he's like,
idea.
no, I'll tell you in person. I was like, why'd you message me then?
And then I remember telling something little like, oh, and I ordered this for our merch or something for work. And Adam's like, that's cool, but that better not be the idea.
I said it to Matt. I was like, he's going to tell me some stupid fucking idea.
Yeah,
it's just going to
not
piss
gonna
me
be on
off.
board with.
And then he told me, I was like, yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
$2,500 later, we're into it. Second episode.
Yeah, now I don't
Shout
have any
out
money left.
Sticker Socials. If you could buy a WashedUpClub decal, we'd
Can we
greatly
actually?
appreciate that.
Can we really get WashedUpClub decals now?
We sure can.
Ooh,
I
crazy.
hope.
We're really holding ourselves to
I'm
this, aren't
really
we?
doing like two things, trying to correlate, mathematics, trigonometry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Pythagoras.
Adam,
I
give
know
us
the one
a-
you're talking about.
Probably 8 minutes left of your YouTube channel.
How long has it
You're-
been going
you're-
for so far?
We're going in about an hour and a half.
Okay, that's
Well,
not
it's
too bad.
not bad.
Yeah, mad. So you got like
Because we've
8
had
minutes.
an intermission.
We've had an intermission.
Yeah.
So,
We had an
so a little bit less than that. Well, mine.
Give us like the extended cut then.
Yeah.
So I started back in school, I guess, back in like year
2020.
7. No.
Yeah, the jokes go both ways.
I don't know. There was just like a media class, and you could like take a camera and do some stuff. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
If you called me dorky.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
funny, I did video class too.
Yeah. See, I did none of that. I dropped out.
Yeah, because they didn't know what that
Like a
was
real
back
not
then.
nerd.
They didn't know what a camera was
Yeah.
back then. They were like, "Ooh, what is this?"
Didn't know what it
media
was
class?"
back then, mate. My media class didn't have cameras.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are on about.
But I never, well, I couldn't afford like a laptop or something that would be able to edit videos, nor let alone a camera that could do it. So then back in the day, the iPod Touch came out
Oof.
that had a camera on it.
Yeah.
So I made videos on the iPod Touch.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah. So
I am going to Google that.
it's like,
Did you Google wacky races? Would recommend.
I did actually. Yeah, I did after the fact, but it was very much like Speed Racer. Yeah.
it's basically the iPod Touch. It's like the iPhone 4, but without all the phone capabilities. It's like really
Yeah,
small.
yeah.
It's really like thin.
Actually,
and
I
everything.
do remember that.
Yeah, so I just liked making videos. So I used that. And then the only thing that we were doing, like most people who are into cars these days, was going to the skate park.
Yeah, boy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, boy.
Just
So-
copy my answer, but change it a little bit.
Change it up a little
Jesus
bit.
Christ. You have some authenticity, boys.
So we used to film that, and I was way ahead of the times back then because I made a 9x16 video.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah, way ahead of the times. Didn't do it intentionally. I just fucked
Whoa.
up.
yeah, I knew that's where that was going.
You know they used to make like parodies and everything else about like turn your phone 90 degrees and film landscape, you pleb.
Yeah.
And all this sort of shit and
Yeah.
everyone used to hate people that filmed in portrait.
Yeah. Like, why
the
are you
most-
filming in portrait? And now
most
it's like
annoying
the
thing.
thing,
Well,
I don't
thing you
think it-
have to do.
I think it went the fact that all our parents were like, oh, look at little Timmy growing up.
Oh, it's the worst.
And then they were like, fuck, we're just going to have to make the content suit.
But it was
Yeah.
like 6 years ago. You would get bullied if you filmed something in 9x16.
I
And
used
now
to
I'm
yell
out
at
on like
kids, yeah.
very expensive shoots for work on a gimbal in 916.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You're literally filming with what, a $2,000 camera body.
Well, we use
on a-
Jai's one. It's even more expensive. It's
Yeah,
like
and he's
3.5
filming
and
in
916,
916,
and we put it in 916,
which is
like to make it look
hilarious.
like a phone. It's crazy. Anyway, so
Wait,
I,
don't give away the secret.
so I made videos on that, and then I got school made you get an iPad because it was
So
just
you just like were making videos at the skate park.
at the skate park on Splice.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Were
I,
you-
that's how I made videos.
Splice on the
you-
App Store.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask this. For
I
you.
forked out a whole $2.99.
Were you guys
That's
the people
crazy.
on camera or just behind the camera?
I was
I-
just behind the camera.
I used to film myself as well every now and then. I used to put my iPod Touch down on the skate park somewhere and do a run, and then I'd come back and I'd edit it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. right.
So I was just the one filming. I was at the skate park doing skate park things, but I was the only one filming. And then I did stuff on the iPad. And then I bought, I can't remember what one it was, but it was
Ferrari.
yeah, a GoPro.
Oh, all right.
I can't remember which hero it was. It was one of the early ones.
The
It's
original.
like you had to put it in the protective case
Yeah,
and
that
all that sort
Ugly,
of that sort of stuff.
like clear plastic.
So I
Yeah.
even with my brother, we made a handle for the GoPro. We were well ahead of the times back
Yeah.
then. So like an underslung GoPro handle, so you could ride on the bike,
Oh,
have the handle, and have the GoPro low, and have like a gimbal movement.
Damn.
We were so ahead of our
interesting.
times.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even know
I
when
didn't
that was.
upsell myself as dickheady as this, did I?
We
We were so ahead of our time.
No, but like it's just wasn't a thing.
I
Like it
got
just wasn't a
100,000
thing.
subscribers before it was normal.
Yeah, boy.
I got a bag
Yeah.
Whoa,
I got the
whoa.
truth between
and a
a bag and a
$500
camp
gift card.
chair. Yeah,
They
look
still
at
do the
this.
gift card.
I had to
Do they?
email Google to do this. It wasn't even
Me and
Google at the
Google.
time.
Hey, Google,
it was
yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
at the time.
Yeah,
It wasn't
as
even
Brendan was
Google.
like, "Hey Susan."
Wasn't Susan at the time. It was Mr. Google.
Yeah. No, this was literally, back before Google took over YouTube.
Yeah,
That's
right.
crazy.
But
Well, it
yeah,
might have been.
I did that sort of stuff. Then I bought a camera, bought a Nikon actually, because I didn't
Is that
make
one of these
videos.
back ones here?
No, it's gone.
Oh,
I don't
it's
have it
gone.
anymore. I sold it. Didn't really make any videos on it. I just did photography on it because that was like what I was focusing on mainly. Was like, oh, I'm going to be a photographer. But then slowly I realized videography is the same as photography, but more. So then I just did videos instead. So I'd set it up like I was going to do, like go to the skate park and take photos of people, but I'd film it properly.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of evolved from there. Just wanted to make videos. I put them on YouTube so my mates could watch the videos of them at the skate park. And then I started a new channel just putting up like random stuff. Like went through in the last one and then went full driving and then it took off from there. I've never had a viral video though. Never had a video get over 200 on the Livin channel.
That's fair.
200 views.
200,000. 200,000.
Yeah, okay. What's your most video though?
I think it's about 180,
Yeah, okay.
maybe.
I've
had a lot of like decent ones.
Yeah, you've had those like really healthy growth ones, but
Yeah.
I agree, and like I don't think I have like I remember I did a video with a YouTuber with like 1.4 million, and at the time I would have just been like passing 100K, and I'm like, this is it. We have similar content. I'm gonna explode. Like 2,000 subs that day, not that much extra views. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, like I didn't have anything like that. I have one video near 1 million, and it's only because it's 10 years old
Yeah.
and sat there and
it just won't hit 1 million.
Yeah,
so I'm
it
like
won't, it
990
won't.
something
It-
thousand.
It's plateaued and will never hit 1 million.
So close to 1 million though, isn't it? It's like 980,000 or
I
something.
used
isn't it?
to, so it was 9, 10, and I'm
Yeah,
like, this
okay.
video could get 1 million, and like when I stopped, I was like, I'm just gonna put it as my autoplay video. Just to go to the channel and get that autoplay video. But then like my search was pretty like back when I was actually doing YouTube like full time, like it was like 5,000 views a month to whatever video I had on that autoplay. Then obviously that's down, and now that's plateaued. The video's nowhere near in like the rankings, so I will never have 1 million view video
There you go.
unless a lot of people really get on board the podcast.
Could I share a little bit of a personal achievement that I reached like 2 weeks ago as well?
Personal?
Yeah. Well, not personal, YouTube achievement.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
When you said personal, I'm like,
No, well, personal for me because it's something that's really bothered me mentally for years since I sold the Falcon.
Okay.
Okay.
The RX-7 is officially the most viewed video on my channel over the Falcon
Over the
now.
Falcon.
Wow.
Yep, did it.
Good
I
work.
ventured
Good work.
I
outside.
apologize if the claps sound shit. You'll have to listen to it.
No, I think it got to 400,000 me driving my RX-7 around Brisbane.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
some low effort content. All you need to do is buy $100,000 crazy
The ones
car
that were
and
always, all you have to do is buy a $50,000 car, put a bunch of money into it to make it run, and then drive it for a little bit, and it works. It's crazy.
If you did that, if you did 10 of those videos, you might have started, paying for
Well,
the
I
car.
tried to do 10 of those videos, and
Yeah.
I copied the thumbnail exactly to a T and the title
really
exactly
wanna-
to a T, and I think I've done 5 of them now, and the last one didn't go so well.
I really want to call out another YouTuber for doing something like that, but I won't, because we don't need to start drama on the channel.
I know exactly who you're talking
Yep.
about too.
Adam.
I can't even. No, not Adam.
4-wheel driving.
Every
Oh,
day.
God.
I don't
Those are the
upload
truth.
enough to copy titles.
Yeah, fair enough.
I
fair
don't
enough.
blame people that do it. Like,
Yeah,
It works
well,
for him.
This is what I wish I knew. Like, and I kind of did it. Like, my hardcore was my Poppin' series. Every episode, like, at one point, it was like at least 50,000 views, and I'm like, fuck. And so I would sprinkle in other content that was easier to make, so that I would grow like a bit of an audience for that too. And I had like a 3-day bang, 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 bang. And that was me being smart with it. And then like, I remember years later it had dropped off and I'm like, no, I'm going to give this a proper shot again and try doing it again. But I just didn't have the momentum.
The algorithm
you know?
changes so much, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's always
yeah.
different.
I used to, there was just a point where I felt like I was like fucking magic. I knew exactly what video to make, what titles to have, what thumbnail to have, and it would like rank.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just really not a thing anymore.
Because
And then-
what were you saying today, Adam, about the faces? This is an interesting one.
So,
for
like,
me.
I don't know how true this is, but it was on a podcast I was listening to from
Adam
some
listens to podcasts.
Adam's a
from
podcast
from
just
some
started
from
listening.
some very big YouTubers.
Yeah.
They're all on it.
Can you listen to Sidemen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So
We can shout them out. I don't
I
Yeah.
thought we were the
Hey, Vic
biggest.
Star, we'd like you back on. I know we don't speak anymore.
I thought we were the biggest YouTubing podcast.
Yeah, well, we
crazy.
are.
We
now,
are.
by the time this episode airs. Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's known
yeah.
as the 1, 2, 3 now because he made a Christmas song. Like they made a Christmas song, and that's how he was introduced. He's like, it's the 1, 2, 3.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Hard working lad, though. Shout out, Vic.
Yeah, shout out, Vic. Did you know there was a video? I think he has more money in the bank than KSI.
Yeah, actually, I did see that.
Crazy,
Yeah,
crazy.
It's quite funny.
Brenny was saying he's a grinder.
Yeah,
He is a grinder.
had hundreds of videos in advance on his Minecraft content.
That's nuts.
We'd wake up at like 8 a.m. This is why you've probably heard me at work go like that. It's a weird tick that I developed from making videos with them because I'd get up so early that you got that like morning congestion. And they're like, let's go, let's film. And I'm like, oh, heck. Like, and so I'm like, 1 second, guys, I'm in the bathroom like trying to get like this morning phlegm out and all that. And yeah, they were good lads though. It was good fun. Just didn't line up with my vibes. You know?
Yeah.
To be fair, not many people do.
Yeah, that's why I was like, damn, these boys like.
Yeah, I'm struggling. Yeah, look, it's week 2. I'm already stressed. Like, we're all good.
Yeah, on the Simon podcast, they were talking about thumbnails at one point. I can't remember what podcast it was. They were saying something about how YouTube algorithm can read the emotions in the thumbnail. So you know how you normally have a face, it can read the emotion and how much emotion and what emotion it is.
My thumbnails.
We're not doing a porno here, mate. What are you doing? No, you were literally like there doing
we gotta hit the different realms.
Oh, sorry, mate. We haven't actually ventured in that. Maybe we should get a porn star
like
on we can interview
the
her or
people
something like that.
That's been done way too many times.
Yeah.
You know the people that put like used to put their YouTube videos in pets and animals and shit to rank because they couldn't rank in gaming, so they'd be like, this is pets and animals.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I don't know how true that all is because it was sort of like a fleeting comment that they made. They didn't talk about it too much.
Some of those lads take it pretty serious.
Oh, 100%.
A lot of bigger
100%.
YouTubers at this point have like thumbnail teams and
well, like what was that thing about Mr. Beast like paying someone a crazy amount to make the thumbnails?
Yeah.
It was like 6 figures.
And Mr. Beast's thumbnails are so simple and so effective, and the amount of motion, like we went through after hearing that.
Yeah,
comment.
we went through his channel and like the type of faces that they have on it aren't like it used to be. It's different now. It's almost animated.
Exactly right. Yeah.
It's almost animated.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's so much color and so much like depth in their faces. Like if they were doing like a crying thing, they would have like almost fake tears, but it's like 3D animated. It's so weird.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's like
I
close
feel
to
like
animation.
that job would not even be so much the thumbnail design. I feel like you get to a point you're like, I know what I'm doing. I know how to make a tiny fucking image on 6
it's more
different
the idea
platforms.
behind it.
But yeah, I think it would be your ideas. You're keeping on the cutting edge. You're like looking at analytics of results. You're A/B testing. Like, I don't know. It'd be a cool
for Mr.
gig.
Beast, that could be the difference between millions of dollars.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
100%.
Yeah.
I really like that all these like YouTubers are venturing off into like different businesses now. Like,
I agree.
So it used to be like, this YouTuber's selling t-shirts, sell out, and it's like, all right, and now it's like, I'm like, and then there was this weird phase where all YouTubers just tried to do something that they also liked. So like, half of them would start singing. And it's like,
oh yeah, but that never really ended.
But they tried, like I saw.
Name a good YouTuber that can sing.
KSI is pretty cool.
He's look.
But no, I'm literally
he had
mean,
one
like,
decent song. The rest of them have been a little bit interesting.
I haven't listened to a lot of them, but I use that as an example as one that I know is successful. But I just think like so many of them went, I'm good at YouTube, so I can do whatever I put my mind to. And it's like, no, like there was an amount of luck, there was an amount of timing, this is the thing you sat there and spent the time on grinding. You don't just get to be a singer now. You have to grind for that too, you know?
Do you remember the YouTuber Poppy?
No.
Oh, I remember
the
name.
ASMR?
Yeah.
Like,
I can't listen
I'm
to
Poppy.
Yeah.
That one. You know,
I just remember it more as like a joke though.
She sings.
Really?
Yeah, she has a full thing.
At least that's relatively close, At least if she was like doing the ASMR.
No, she
speaking.
was weird. If you saw one of her videos and you said, "Wow, she sings now," is like completely different, completely opposite. She was like one of the first weird YouTubers that I think I've ever seen.
Excuse me.
No.
I was the
Yeah.
But no, she was like the first one that instead of doing like gaming videos or anything like that, she was doing like weird content that it was interesting on the platform, and I think it just went odd and viral, and yeah.
Do you guys get the ASMR thing?
No, not really.
No, I do not.
I legit I opened Twitch the other day because my mate started streaming, and I was like, oh, see if he's live, go give him some support. AFK in the chat, and they had ASMR on the front page. Am I saying it right? I feel like I'm saying it right.
ASMR.
No, you have to say ASMR.
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 And like the girl was like just speaking.
Yeah.
Like, this is rather soothing. Then she starts like opening her bag and it's like, and I'm like, oh, I don't like
Yeah, I
that.
can't
Like,
stand it.
it's just
Yep.
like overly
Have
exaggerated.
you seen
like,
those memes about boy versus girl ASMRs and stuff like that?
No.
No.
So it's like the girl ASMR, she gets like the little brush and she goes across the microphone and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then it's like the guys and it's like 2 tin cans. It's like, dong, dong. It's great. And it like peaks the microphone.
I knew it was gonna be
Yeah.
like that. No, the speaking and the like the tone was like really soothing, and I'm like, I don't think it's meant to be soothing though. I think it's meant to be like like a
Yeah.
different thing, you know? Like I don't know.
And soothing.
Imagine
and
if they had
relaxing,
like
the same
ASMR
thing.
and they're like down the road or something.
Oh, you make him a skin crawl. That's terrible. I hate that noise.
Did we finish you, young man?
Whoa.
Yeah.
look
Oh
at-
Jesus!
I know, I'm trying-
That's a bit much.
I interrupt a lot, and I'm trying to work on that. And I'm like, Adam didn't get to the point where, because I know, like,
Yeah, well, we talked about it
I believe
last
we
episode.
already last time
Yeah.
covered it up to when you started filming with your brother.
Got how I got into
Yeah.
full driving. Yeah.
Are you going to continue YouTube?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So
Adventure channel.
both.
Yep.
So there's my channel, then there's Livin 4x4. So Livin 4x4 is kind of like on a pause because we agreed that Livin 4x4 is both of our cars.
Yes.
Sam's car has had nothing but issues for a very long period of time. It keeps keeps doing heads.
Yeah.
We think it may have like a cracked block or something, like a hairline fracture, and you can't see when it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. So his car has just been consistently out for over a year. So when we agreed that we would make our 2 other channels to have the like builds of the cars and like small things that we do and individual trips, and we thought that his car was going to be fixed because he got it back, but then it broke again.
Yeah.
And now
so
it's
the
just like Livin
big
4x4 is
adventure.
just like in a stale mode. Because we definitely do plan on still making videos because it's what we like to do, but we're going to make them like just the bigger videos, like the nicer ones, instead of going, today I'm got a new set of wheels. Like that's for the smaller
That
channels.
sounds like a
they're
Zach Bordy
individual.
I was
Right
legit
there.
gonna change
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah.
I
But
like that. I like
But
that.
like it has the individual car builds on the channels, so
Yeah.
it's easy to follow and everything. And then the
Could
main
you
channel.
also like take advantage of that? Like maybe you do keep transforming your car, and then the highlight video goes on Living 4x4.
You could, yeah. Yeah, you could. Like it's a thing that will work, but unfortunately the car is just not working
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
at all.
I get that. That's cool.
Um,
What about your like event coverage and stuff? Like when you go to those strap things? What-
the
what was
Wild
it
Dog
called
Winch
again?
Challenge.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah, so they're cool. The event organizers definitely like us being there because it gets a lot of attention to them, and I like supporting. Like,
Ooh. Surely we do a car meet someday.
yeah,
We
we
could.
could. We
We'll
could.
get all the rounds.
Yeah, but then we get 4-wheel-drive people there.
clapped out.
Wait,
cars.
bloody
So,
RX-7
mate.
people over here. Just
Yeah, I know. RX-7 owners.
We'll get all the starlets there.
Ooh.
I'm actually keen to see that. I want to see a line of starlets at the next meet. We can make it happen, surely.
we get this. Obviously, we're gonna have 10 million followers by next
Yeah,
month.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Meet up at one of our events.
Just where we film the podcast. Just meet up here. Adam's house.
Oh,
Duns
God.
live.
I'd rather not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, live podcast. We could have an audience down in his backyard. No, let's not.
Vote it off.
The covering of those events, I think it's cool because no one does it. There is no good coverage of
Yeah.
those events.
I even enjoyed your
They're like
video.
crazy hard to cover, and they suck to put together. But it's good to cover them. But I would like to be involved with a team, so you like follow the team through everything.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
I feel like that would be a lot cooler. But then you're only showcasing like one car. So we used to like when we were there, we'd plan out where we're going to go to this course because they basically all these cars come to an area. There's a bunch of courses that we'll have to do all the courses at any point during the day. So it's not like we're doing this course for this time and then we move on to the next one. So it's like shit going on everywhere all the time. So we'd like choose one, we'd both be on it to capture the most amount of angles possible. Then you go, okay, we've got enough of these cars. We'll go to another course that has different cars. So like, it's a big day, like trying to do all that. Then it's massive trying to put it all together and for it to be an entertaining video. Because I could just slap together forward driving and just show them doing it. But I try to make it sort of entertaining and like something that you actually would want to watch.
that's fair.
Instead of just going, all right, there's this guy doing this run, I'm going to show the
And I think
entirety
that's why
of the
your
run.
channel's been so successful in comparison to a lot of other four-wheel driving channels.
Yeah, I mean, I just try to hit the medium of being entertaining, showing the good points, but still showing enough that people see enough of the
Yeah.
forward driving.
I also think it's because you don't just point and shoot a camera.
Yeah,
Like you actually care about the equipment, like not care about the equipment, because let's be honest, you treat your
Yeah.
equipment like absolute shit.
yeah.
But
yep.
you get the right equipment, you film really decent angles, and you like have 4K bloody 60,000 ultra FPS, 8K, 10K bloody
that's,
widescreen.
I
all
think
that sort of
there's still
shit,
so
but-
much room in like this. Don't steal this idea, but because like automotive people aren't super commonly camera people or
Yeah,
want
exactly
to be
right.
YouTuber people, so we like it's still like a little niche you can break into, and I think even further with what Adam's doing because he's
Yeah,
doing high level video on like a high level car thing. It's just like
exactly
to
right.
line those two things up. Whereas like you were saying, like I could whip out a camera and make a crappy vlog of my Sylvia or Starlet. That's a much
Yeah.
more, entry level thing.
Like Johnny could get his poo troll stuck in the middle of nowhere, and he'll rip out his camera and like his phone and literally just go, "Oh, I'm stuck on this ledge right
And
here,
you
and it's
know what?
flexing like crazy."
He
but
might have a viral clip or two.
He might,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
he
There's-
won't have a movie length.
exactly.
There's
right, yeah.
plenty of like forward driving camping channels that are like films.
Yeah.
Like they are shot really nicely. There's a lot up in Queensland because it's that kind of place.
High
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, there's
because
ones
it's
in
higher
country.
than it's higher than
It's
Victoria.
higher than
Yeah, basically anytime you
low
go
country into Tasmania.
Yeah,
But like
exactly
our
right.
Livin 4x4, a lot of it was four-wheel driving. It wasn't camping.
Yeah.
It was going out and thrashing cars, which is a reason why I stepped back a little bit because it's costing me way too much
Yeah.
money.
Which is something I think we'll cover on another podcast
Yeah.
as well as how much it costs to be an
But
automotive YouTuber.
I like tried
Game
to
is pretty
find
cheap.
yeah. I tried to
Yeah.
find the line with the editing where it would show enough to show that it was hard, then we weren't making it up the hill, but then
Yeah.
keep it short enough that it was entertaining. And that kind of shoots me in the foot a lot because a lot of people are like, well, if you just tried this line or if you lowered your tires more or
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
And it's like, we tried all of that, but if I put all that into this video, it'd be a 3-hour long video.
Yeah, and your videos were already super duper long, weren't they?
Yeah, they were averaging an hour.
Yeah.
And I
Averaging.
think it's like I always saw people do it with like drift videos. They'd show their good lines and they're like bits you can actually see them progressing, and then they'd upload the raw footage like unlisted or something. No one is ever gonna go watch that.
No.
Even
No.
me, someone super interested in it, I'm like, well, they've already cut out all those bits where that person like, why didn't you try this? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that kind of shot me in the foot a lot, but I wasn't going to sacrifice the quality of the video
Exactly
just
right.
to please one person
Your
who wanted
videos
to
are
see
so
all the
easy to
bad
watch
stuff.
as well, though. Like, especially, I put on a few. I don't care about.
I put them on
much.
to go to bed.
Thanks.
But yeah, no, like
No one puts your videos on.
I've
Yeah,
You're never gonna get that million though. Come on, bro, we got this.
if all million listeners could head over to my video,
But yeah, no, like your videos are super. Like for someone that's not into forward driving, your videos are super easy to watch for hours. Like it's great.
No, thanks.
No, that's
It's
alright.
because, like, technically making videos, I was never that good at like getting like lighting, and I never wanted to set up lighting or anything like that. Never,
doesn't
I-
seem like it.
yeah, it doesn't
I feel
seem
I'm
like.
fucking in a solarium right now.
But like my videos are always very raw, so I was like, all right, well, instead of making the most high quality cinematic videos I can never make, I'm just gonna focus on flow.
Yeah.
That's where I got all of my video technique from.
I think that was the
just
first thing
focusing on
I
flow.
noticed, like when I started at REIT and saw like your editing, like your editing ability. I've seen get better, and even your flow. But you had the flow from like even when I started. I'm sure before, like the way you structured things and all that, like. You know when to interrupt with a bit of drifting to not get it stale. You know when to cut the talking, and I think that's something that does come from like years of experience,
Yeah,
not
experience,
just like
not just
you
being
can't just
told.
watch a YouTube video how to gauge flow. You can watch a
it's-
video how to do a fancy transition you're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's literally years of experience of doing YouTube videos.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's not a skill you learn making movies.
See, and I didn't get that. I just learned to try to structure myself like, okay, speak about what you're about to work on alone in a room, speaking to the wall.
Yeah, it's super
I've picked up
difficult.
no skills apart from Sony Vegas.
Sony Vegas #1.
Oh, gross.
No, I think we've all been to switch to DaVinci now, and it's been scary.
I've used it 3 times.
It's scary.
I keep trying to edit TikToks for Sticker Socials, and I'm like, I just can't remember how to set it all up.
Open Sony Vegas.
For those, for those
No, I
of
cancelled
you,
my subscription.
for those of you listening that don't know what we're talking about, they're editing programs. And basically, if you want to start out making videos, get DaVinci Resolve. There's a free version. It's very good. That's the editing program you should use.
It'll get you sorted. Don't
Yes.
buy things you don't need to
Don't
buy.
buy things. Go to DaVinci.
As much as we spend $2,000 on mic setups,
Oh, it's all sponsored by
Trust
Sticker
me.
Socials, our sponsor of this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
all
right.
the cameras were already previously owned from previous interests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just wanted nice microphones to match them. You do not need this. You do not need the expensive things.
No, we definitely needed
Try it before you buy it. We can only half speak from
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That laptop works laptop.
Yeah, that's keep it right.
We didn't pay for that.
Yeah.
And realistically, these guys scammed me with the mic, so you know they're not in it at all.
Wait, we scammed you with the mics? What did we do?
I know you guys are going to vote me off the island.
With our 66% stake in this.
yeah.
0.6, sorry.
Point-
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's- Oh yeah, it is.
It is 0.6, yes. But yeah, as I was saying before, if you do actually want to get into this sort of thing, DaVinci is the best program that you can currently get for video editing.
So forced.
Right
Yeah, I know. It
now.
sounds like we're sponsored.
Gun to my head.
But I
right now.
just-
Buy things from Sticker Socials.
I just say that because I get asked a lot, like, well, what editing program should I
Yeah.
use? 100% DaVinci.
Because a lot of
I
people
too
will
get
tell
asked
you to
that a
go
lot.
to
Yeah.
Premiere Pro. Yeah, Premiere Pro's been not so great lately.
No,
It's,
I came from Premiere Pro.
It crashes a lot, doesn't it?
The only reason like I would suggest people go in that realm is if you are paying for 2 Adobe programs, you might as well be just buying the whole suite.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then it's up to you, but
But
you
you
know.
can get a free version of DaVinci that's
Yeah.
really good.
yeah, and then just
So-
pay for one Adobe program instead.
Yeah. Don't
Um,
get Sony Vegas. It's easy.
Oi! Oi!
It's easy, but it's a yeah. I don't know. You probably just shouldn't.
Yeah, just don't.
Just don't.
Just
Unless they want to sponsor us and change our. No, I
Yeah,
wanted to.
know.
Where you taking the Zach Baldy channel?
Oh, okay. So I
Very
still
into grip racing now.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, that's something we didn't get into last week. But yeah, I wanted to get into grip racing for years and years and years, and so I've tried drifting, I've tried building street cars, and I love building
Master
street cars.
drifting.
Master drifting.
Yeah, apparently drifting's easy according to Zach.
Easy.
He reckons it's
easy.
the easiest thing to do.
Went to Japan,
Mastered
got a car,
it, won
literally
all the
linked the track
comps.
in the second.
It's like, you know what? I don't need to do this anymore. It's just too easy.
Yeah, I've literally mastered it.
That's
There's no other
what he
way.
said to me the other day.
I want to headbutt myself right now.
I literally, went to scuba, I got a borrowed car, linked the whole course in the second lap, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to finish on a high, and I did that for the rest of my life. So, yeah, I won't do that again. I don't like
You know
drifting.
what? You got a smart call there because it can only get worse.
Exactly right,
You
yeah.
can only build your own car, crash it, costs a lot of money.
Exactly
you know,
right,
very
yeah.
valid
So,
point.
yeah, I went grip racing, and I loved it, and it's been years since I've wanted to get on a track. So, that's the plan, is to literally continue the channel going grip racing.
What
I
about
do...
builds?
Well, that's the thing is I do still have a sweet spot for Falcons. Falcons still were the biggest thing, and there's only
Disgusting.
I know that they
It's only because he misses the views.
Yeah, I literally.
well, that's going to be a byproduct of it, I think, because like I grew up on V8 supercars. V8 supercars was the biggest thing that I loved back in the day, watching V8 supercars, and that's what got me into grip racing. And at the moment, I'm with the BRZ, and it's so easy to drive on track to look smooth, and I feel like it's boring to watch. Like, it's fun to drive, but it's boring to watch. So personally,
You need an exhaust.
yeah, a lot of people.
It's
have told me
because the
that.
car doesn't make enough power.
The car doesn't make enough power to look fast, but it's really fast around track. It just doesn't look it. But yeah, I really want to get something big, heavy, turbo, something that's going to look like it's hard to drive, so that way it's better for YouTube, and something that's going to push me physically to try to handle that car. So the only thing I can think of at the moment is getting a rear-wheel drive, a 1.8 ton turbo boat. That's one of the things I'm
actually-
thinking of.
I try to build a competition AU, you try to build a race AU, and you try to build an off-road AU.
Do I have to? Do I have to?
I just wanted to do that because I'm like, yeah, mine would be cool. Zach's would be cool. Adam's would be weird.
I would rather take it drifting.
Well, that's what I was thinking with the shitbox rally. If we go and get like an AU and then lift it and take it off road and do stuff like that, I feel like that'd be pretty fun. So
buy washed up decals and we can make it up.
I think it might. I think we could.
For only $10. I'm picking the price on the podcast.
Realistically, how much would it cost for us to do the shitbox rally? It's about $1.5 grand car. Like,
it'll cost us about one podcast deck that we've already invested.
yeah, fair enough. Which isn't, I mean, realistically, we have to all take a week off work, which is going to be difficult.
I think
That's
the hardest
probably the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Especially when Adam wants to travel when he gets the break. I want to travel.
Because you're going to Japan this year.
Yes.
I'm going to Bright and possibly New Zealand this year, and you're going
Nowhere.
You're hoping to get away from
I'm
Melbourne.
trying to get the car good.
Fair
It's
enough.
going to cost a lot more money than what I initially planned, so
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
I am definitely keen to do group adventures and try different things.
'Cause that's what
I
you
wanna
wanna do in the
try
future as
everything
well,
on
don't
a
you?
budget. Yeah, it's been my dream for ages. I always like take my camera to my aunt's house where my drift car's at, and I'm like, oh, too scared to do anything. And that's why, like, I feel like you might have. But I had the same, like I said at the start of the podcast, I felt like I ripped a Band-Aid off last podcast and was like, I've done this before. I can speak shit like a king. And then today I'm like, oh. So I'll probably borrow your camera one day and then you'll have footage of me going, oh.
No, you'd be fine. I mean, like now you've done a video for Keep It Read, which was pretty cool. I saw some cool footage come from that.
That was, very rewarding.
That would have been huge for you. That would have been huge.
I legitimately, like, just watching Jai edit through it, by the start to the end of the day, I was like, oh shit, I got like better using the camera, better on the camera. I
feel like you're good on the camera as well because you actually have genuine reactions. As opposed to a lot of people that jump in a car and just laugh and yell out. You were kind of actually giving
Brenny
a
was
decent
fearing
reaction.
for his life. That's
You
why.
gave a great reaction though.
He's a really bad passenger.
Yeah, I'm a nervous passenger.
Yeah.
And then it was, this is going to sound bad, but Jace crashed that car. And that's what I was worried about happening when we were doing.
Well, he was in the car.
I was
when
in
it
the
happened.
car when he
Yeah.
crashed.
And you're
I
fine.
didn't know that until
Yeah,
today.
see, I'm still alive.
He's
I'm
only
happy.
lost a few brain cells.
Yeah.
He's
So,
down
what
to 2.
scares me
I've
is
only
Jace
lost
has
a
like
few brain
normie
cells.
seatbelts in those cars
Mm.
and the harnesses. And we only had like 10 minutes left to go out. He's like, just use the normal seatbelt. And I'm like, I like to be harnessed in. I've hit a wall hard and I didn't like it. No, but you definitely, I didn't see the crash and I only found out that like it was you today when you mentioned it, that it wasn't that bad.
The damage of the car looks a lot worse than what actually felt like.
It's on video. I filmed it. It
Oof.
doesn't look that bad. Like, obviously, it's a bad impact for the car,
So
but it didn't look like it.
Explain it in words.
So they're doing a big entry comp. They're coming in, and he came in, chucked a massive backy, too much of a backy. He was too backwards, and then
was he on gas?
no. So
Oh,
then he he was already slowing down, just pretty much in an
when
impossible
backies
spot.
start slowing down, they start to roll backwards.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
pretty much
what
in
you
an
want.
impossible spot to get it back.
Yes.
And then it just rolled backwards and it turned slightly and hit the wall, but it kind of slid along the wall a
Yeah.
bit.
So it didn't have that initial
Yeah,
stop.
it didn't.
The impact was more sideways than back.
Yeah.
So
It hit the rear quarter, well, like directly on the rear, like the corner of the car. But it didn't like hit the wall straight on the stop. So it wasn't like a sudden stop. It sort of hit it and then slowed a little bit.
So my accident was that exact same like corner, but I hit the wall and stopped. So I felt my fake ass bucket seat. Don't buy fake safety gear. Buy genuine safety. Everything else, don't care. Buy fake turbos. Buy whatever you want. I felt my seat go and hit the harness bar.
Yeah, that's not good.
idea.
And I was like, yep. And straight off that safety gear, I did pretty good, like my own panel beating. But like Jace's crash definitely.
And like
It's like,
the
ooh, I had that
34
crash.
doesn't have a massive nudge bar on it or anything.
No,
it's
no.
like pretty small.
It is a big car though. Like a 34 sedan is a big car.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
But
crumple
like
zones and
the crash bar or nudge bar, whatever you want to call it, on the 33, that's like a roll bar because he smashes that against walls and everything. So if he had done the same thing in the 33, it would have damaged it, but it wouldn't have been nowhere near as bad.
Yeah.
Probably would have felt
So
worse in the car, to be honest.
I think it's meant to be. You don't have a rear bar like Rio or crash bar, for those light taps.
Mm.
I don't really know what the math for the heavy taps is though. Because if you have,
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
yeah, like,
Don't
generally, I
crash.
suppose avoid it, but yeah.
Basically, the 34 worked how it's supposed to work. It had a crumple zone.
Yeah.
And it crumpled.
Yeah, I was just shocked that the rear glass has gone too. Seeing
Yeah, I
all-
know. Smashed
all
the whole
the
rear.
stickers and slaps
Yeah.
we put on
Yeah.
that car, and they're all just like stuck to
That
the
was
glass.
weird. During the actual thing, we didn't realize that the window had smashed. There was no glass anywhere on the front. We kind of just backed into the wall. I think both of our heads, because we're like sitting up in the seat, I think they both moved like 5 centimeters back, and we sort of went, oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
a bit of a
because you
tap.
don't ever sit back, do you? It's
No,
like
we
kinda
were in a
leaning.
harness, so we were definitely in as far back in our seats as possible, and we were getting held back. But yeah, our helmets were literally like 2 or 3 centimeters off the back of the seat. So when we actually hit the wall, it was kind of just like we got forced into the back and didn't.
And
really
there's like
hurt,
there's
and-
good seats in those cars.
yeah, I think
Yeah, yeah.
what does he have, like Bride Lomaxes or something like that, or
I don't
I'm not sure
remember
what
the
they
seats,
are.
but
Or
I know
something?
I bought the same rails. he
Yeah.
has
But
because
he
I'm
runs
like,
the
these are
same
nice
seats.
rails.
yeah,
and-
they're legit seats, so they don't move at all. They didn't flex or anything, and they had good harnesses.
Quite
and
comfy.
it was good. They were really comfy. I felt really safe in that car. And yeah, I didn't even realize I knew we'd hit the wall, and I looked at Jason, and he's kind of like back in the mind zone of like just, clutch kick and then send it back out, and he was having a great time.
I remember
Yeah.
Jay. I was like, "What'd you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't think it was that bad." I looked at my rearview mirror, and my boot was a triangle.
That's what I had. Chase did exactly what I did.
Because he
Way
finished the
cooler.
run, and I'm like, oh my God, that was amazing. And he's like, oh yeah, look at the boot. And I looked around, it was just like up and in the back seat. I'm like, oh, okay, that was a big hit.
How
But,
do you as a passenger?
I hate being a passenger on a street. I hate fast street cars. On the track, you can send it as hard as you want. I don't care. I trust you as a driver on the track. I feel like crashing on the street versus crashing on the track is two very different things, and I think you're a
Yeah,
lot
on
safer
the track, I feel very comfortable being in
Yeah.
passenger.
Yeah.
Just I don't know, it just feels
I
way nice.
will
There's
agree.
there's
Yeah.
less chance of an old lady just pulling out,
Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
and I also not stressed because it's not illegal. So
Yeah. Exactly right.
that always
I
makes me
always
feel better.
I think I do good when I can understand what the person's doing. Jace goes to that realm where I'm like, I don't see how we're not gonna hit this wall. Like,
I
can't-
just have like
Yeah.
full trust.
Oh yeah, that's what it's gotta be. But I'm like trying to calculate it. I'm like, what would I do in this situation? Crash.
I had full trust in Jason's car, getting Jesse's car. Another story. I'm like, oh, how are you gonna get out of that? to be fair,
Interesting,
to be
up the
fair to
barrier.
Jesse,
Yeah.
I got in the car when he was having like the worst time of his life. He couldn't string a lap together. He like had 2 grippy tires, just too gripped up for his
Yeah.
car, and he was just struggling. So that was an experience.
I think that's when I come back, when I make my return to drifting, I would like to air up the tires a bit and just be a bit more skatey and just focus
Yeah.
on getting the sideways seat time.
The
Instead
style.
of like,
yeah.
my car was actually pretty hooked up for a car to be beginning in. I always ran like the biggest tires I could fit on there, which were 235s or 225s, which for a beginner, like I use
Yeah,
15s on the S13 now, and it just feels like a game, it feels easy. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for coming on my podcast. Thank
Yeah, I
you
was
for being
gonna
my
say,
guest for
I
today.
think we're almost at the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
so
we're pretty much at 2 hours, so I think we should wrap it up there.
Yep.
Are we going to do another quick
Hit him
little
with the
shout out
final
to
sponsor read,
yeah,
Adam.
sticker socials?
Yeah, Zach hasn't done one yet.
Zachary.
No, I feel like I'm pretty good at it.
Remember
anyway.
the website though.
Oh, I don't remember it at all.
I
if
don't
you
think
guys,
I've even shown
if
Zach
you
the
guys
website.
do have social media outlets and you do want stickers for all those social media outlets to stick on your car or on your wife's car or your girlfriend's car, boyfriend's car, I don't know exactly where you want to stick these stickers.
Random
you can stick
cars.
them anywhere. Random
Just buy
cars.
them. Don't even use them.
Yeah, just buy them. Don't use them. Just www.stickersocials.com.
Yeah, nailed it.
Right.
Right
Froze on
there.
it.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, Sticker Socials, for buying all the equipment for us.
Thank you for listening. Rate us on everything.
Yeah.
Share us with a
Rate
friend.
us highly.
5 stars on Uber.
Yeah, we
Yep.
don't even know
Rate our Uber.
how
This will
podcast
be our backup job.
All right.
Got to pay for this.
See you all next time.
Cheers.